Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the 1139th edition of still the most exciting of them all, the Grand Arena known as the Madhouse. Historic Bowman Gray Stadium is the host for Reliant Federal Credit Union Night of Destruction. I'm your host, Matthew Dillner, on FloRacing, joined alongside Camel City native James Pike for an incredible night of racing and monster truck crushing excitement.
It is a busy card tonight at the Madhouse. A stadium stock race to open things up, 2 sportsman races, 2 modified races, monster trucks in the middle, a stadium stock race at the end, and then a demolition derby to cap off Reliant Federal Credit Union Night of Destruction.
Well, the modifieds will go for 2 25-lappers, and the big story in 2026 has been one family. That is the Myers family. Burt Myers in the famed number 1 with the orange bumper, the Sister Safe machine. Slate Myers coming of age, now a 3-time winner. Uncle Jaybird, Jason Myers, as well, having some success despite some inconsistency. But the Myers family has been on top here in the Madhouse, and they're the story.
Slate and Burt were the headline makers last week. They went 1-2 in our 100-lap modified feature. That was the big story of the evening. Burt is the points leader, 2 wins, 3 poles. Slate gets his 3rd win of the season. He's 3rd in points, and even Jason has a win and 3 poles to his name this season.
Yeah, and you look at those 1-2 finishes by families, 3 of them this season. That's incredible. But Burt Myers, he's your pole sitter tonight after turning the fastest lap in qualifying. Can he get that Citrus Safe number 1 to victory lane yet again? Well, last week at the Madhouse, it was his son Slate making all the headlines.
Tim Brown did not have a good drive to the corner, and Jason Myers gets spun into the infield grass in the corner.
What's going on here? What's going on here? The leader, Burt Myers, it has now been deemed that the 6 car was ahead of him when the yellow flag came out. Timing and scoring now ruling that Slate Myers is your leader. Okay, now you watch. Slate Myers is slightly ahead of him right there as he came to the line. Slate Myers is a 100-lap winner at the stadium. Wow, Slate Myers, that big ruling on the final restart that decided it all. Here's a statement that we got from Austin Schuford to clear things up.
General manager here at Bowman Gray said that when counting caution laps for longer modified races, scoring reverts back to the leader at the start-finish line on the last green flag lap. Lap 93 of last week's race saw car number 6 ahead of car number 1 on the restart prior to the caution coming out on lap 93 and being completed under caution. For shorter races where caution laps do not count, scoring will have a full restart based on the last completed green flag lap.
Well, that is actually clear how they decided that. And, you know, the drivers today in the drivers meeting, all they wanted to know is that the rule's the rule. And they needed to know what they were going to go by. So, but hey, all that aside, we still have a lot of racing left. And I always look forward to the finale. But the finale this year just added a Friday night show. Big news this week for Bowman Gray Stadium. And it's a great race for a great cause, Pike.
The Kyle Busch Invitational, benefiting the Bundle of Joy Fund, comes your way Friday, August 21st on FloRacing and the NASCAR channel. More information on FloRacing.com, but we're bringing legends and bandoleros back to the Madhouse.
Got to love that. Much anticipated, and also a big event to support Kyle Busch, their family, and their great charity. Folks, stay tuned to FloRacing, because next up we're going to come back with night 1139.
Race fans, I invite you to join with me now in the racer's prayer. Lord, I pray as I race today, keep me safe along the way. Not only me, but others too. Safe from doing the jobs they do. I know, Lord, that in a race, I, the driver, must set the pace. But in this race of life, I pray, help me, Lord, along the way. Although I know I'm a sinner, help me to believe that with Christ, you're always a winner. Amen. Please remain standing as you're able, removing your caps and your hats, as we honor America
The anticipation builds. It's even built for us for 2 weeks. Night 1138 is green.
Robertson with another look to the inside, another shove. There goes Whaley sideways, dirt tracking and hanging on to the inside, trying to keep Robertson at bay. Robertson was almost there down the front straightaway, and Whaley trying to keep it from spinning, and Whaley's going to spin in front of the entire field from the race lead.
The time limit has hit. Bryant Robertson is the winner. Green flag is back out. Sportsman race number 1 is underway. Simicek hanging on to it, and it goes around. And now the checkered flag waves for the rock star. The mods are green and disaster at the start for Casper. Slate Myers is a 100-lap winner at the stadium. The driver in front, cloaked in white. It'll be checkered flags for Brandon Lee Brendel. 3rd win of the season for Scooter. Here comes Sheets to the bottom.
Sykes always going to turn Sheets into the fence in the middle of the back straightaway to bring out the caution.
One more trip around the famed quarter mile, and we're going to do it door to door, fender to fender, as Sykes Jr. spins off the back straightaway. The 2 leaders side by side, the crossover. Zach Orr wins 6 of 2026. And he gets into the wall right at the start. Battle for the lead. Mosier is just nosed into the wall. He might have hit it too hard. Now your leader goes for a loop-de-loop. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America. Adam Moore wins. What a wild week it was last week at the Madhouse. God bless America. Johnny Sauter, shout out. But, man, a great weekend of racing. Sterling Plemons and Zach Orr, man, they put on a show as well in the sportsman division.
Bryant Robertson got the win in the Street Stocks. Brandon Brendel, your stadium stock winner. And, of course, Slate Myers, the winner of the 100-lapper. Let's turn our attention to our first lineup for the stadium stocks at the Q104.1 Stadium Stock Division.
Well, they'll go 15 laps tonight. This is your A race to start out the night. Here is your starting lineup. Starting on the pole, the MB Motorsports number 02 in the car known as Whisker Biscuit. It's Fuzzy Dinkles to the outside the Highway 55, number 46 for Colton Brown.
Starting in 3rd out of Boonville, North Carolina, in the Jones Floor and Windows number 60, it's Brad Michalowski. Starting in 4th in the number 81 Tri-City Plumbing car out of Lexington, North Carolina, Chuck Wall.
Starting 5th will be a rookie competitor in the Coger Plumbing number 8. It's Jaden Andrews to the outside, last week's winner, the Infinity Insurance Group number 43 for Brandon Lee Brendel.
Starting in 7th, the Clifton Plumbing number 24 out of Moxville, North Carolina, AJ Sanders, and also in a Clifton Plumbing machine out of Moxville, North Carolina, running in the 16 car in 8, it's Steven Sanders.
This next row will get your taste buds fired up, folks, because on the inside of the row in 9th position, the Little Donuts number 88, it's Zach Taylor. To the outside, refreshing and fun, the 95, sponsored by S&P Lemonade, it's Levi Hull.
Starting in 11th of the Pampered Chef number 51 out of Vacaville, North Carolina, it's Andrew Cates. Starting in 12th, it's the Bendy Straw number 44 out of Moxville, North Carolina, piloted this evening by Blaze Sanders.
God, I love that sponsor. Next sponsor, Kimono Japanese Restaurant on the side of the black number 22. Starting lucky 13th tonight, that's Adam Peanut Baker Jr. And to the outside, the QRC HVAC and Refrigeration number 2, it's Carson Reed. Carson Reed, man, he's got a long way to go. Short time to get there. And there is the number 81 machine of Chuck Wall. Last week was double points night, and Chuck Wall had a good race, but not good enough. Steven Sanders and him started tied going into that race atop the point standings, and double points night sure did affect it.
16 markers, the gap between Steven Sanders and Chuck Wall. Here, Brad Michalowski, 22 points back. Zach Taylor, 34. Luke Smith, 48 after that double points night. Remember, one more double points night over the course of the season, and it's on the last night of the campaign, August 22nd.
You know, the double points nights are so important. And how important were they? Like, you look at how it changed the face of the division. and it really changed the points battle. Look at this right here. A 16-point swing is a huge swing when we're talking about a second place finish to a sixth place finish last week, but when you double the points, that was the advantage that Steven Sanders was able to gap Chuck Wall.
So now, again, it goes back to the thing we talked about last week. It's the experience of having won titles in this division before that Chuck Wall has versus Steven Sanders, whose family has had a lot of success here, but he personally has not been part of a title fight in the division like this. So is the raw speed going to trump the know-how? That's ultimately the question we'll answer over the course of the next month and change.
Oh, that brand new car right there, the Steven Sanders number 16, an 8-time winner here in Bowman Gray Stadium Wars. He's a veteran, but yes, he has never been locked into a championship battle quite like this. One win on the season for Sanders. Underneath him, the Little Donuts Zach Taylor machine. But now we focus up front. The night is just about to begin.
Modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle will bring the field around to the north turn at the Madhouse and will pull off to its regular place in between. Most folks would know as turn 3 and turn 4 as night 1,139 gets underway with a Q104.1 Stadium Stock Series. Fuzzy Nichols and Colton Brown lead us to green, and we are underway with our first race of the evening, and a little bit of bumper tag amongst the top 5 as Chuck Wall will ride that high line and go all the way maybe to second by the time we complete the first lap, right to the outside of Colton Brown, and he's bringing Brandon Lee Prindle with him.
Well, further behind that, 3 wide, and now Jaden Andrews gets spun. Coming off the turn, collects Zach Taylor, and also, I believe, the S&B Lemonade car once again creaming the 88 Little Donuts car. Oh boy, Donuts and Lemonade, too good of a combination. They're getting together on the track for the second time.
I ran out of room over there in that very tight exit, turn 4, the end of the north turn here at the Madhouse. Remember that the exit of the corner coming out of 4 is really, really tight. You see Carson Reed with damage to the right front of his car as well, but it's tighter to get out of that corner than it is turn 2. The wall sneaks up on you. It actually juts down into the racetrack ever so slightly, so we can watch a little bit further back on screen. And contact there between the 8 and the 88, and then they all get stacked up from there.
That just looked like a mistake by Zach Taylor. I mean, that nose washed up and just tattooed the number 8 of Jaden Andrews. Nothing that Andrews could do in that situation, so hopefully not too much damage. Of course, you see Carson Reed jumping over the 44 of Blaze Sanders there as well, but heavy damage, it looks like, on Jaden Andrews' car, the rookie competitor. His dad races in this division as well, and Jaden has done a fine job thus far in 2026 and is actually up into the top 10, 9th in points as a rookie competitor, the top rookie right now of the Q104.1 Stadium Stock Division.
Bit of a challenge here for the excellent track services crew at Bowman Gray because they've got to move Jaden Andrews and Zach Taylor and split them apart, and they've got to get Carson Reed's car as well. So Carson Reed stuck there on the front stretch. You see Andrews and Taylor sort of stuck up there in the corner. You can see how the wall juts out like we were talking about. Part of the unique character of this place, Bowman Gray Stadium, a WPA project in the New Deal back in the 1930s, and has that kind of old 1930s character, Matthew.
Yeah, I mean, there is nothing like this. Dave Dusick, my friend, is here for the first time and just in awe of this place. And as the bowl fills up now here at Bowman Gray Stadium, packed full of fans here, let's take a quick break on FloRacing, and we'll be back with the rest of this stadium stock race. As the Citrus Safe Cleaners track cleanup crew gets things back in order, Jaden Andrews has returned to the track. We are 2 laps into this Q104.1 Stadium Stock race, number 1 of the night. 15 laps for this division. And folks, it's been a wild one thus far. Look at that bowl right there. You never been to Bowman Gray Stadium, this is one of the places that packs them in. Even on nights that we may have an off night here, just had a good conversation about this. Even on a night where it's like, oh no, the stadium looks a little thin. Not tonight, but on those nights, we still get like 8,000 people. This place is just banana lands. The amount of fans that flock here, to the Triad to watch NASCAR-style stock car auto racing here at the famed quarter mile.
Have to believe that there are a few folks in the stands who were most likely in attendance at North Wilkesboro earlier today for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
I actually met one that came all the way down from Rhode Island.
How about it?
To watch Wilkesboro, but her biggest thing on her list, believe it or not, was to come to the stadium to watch some racing here. So met her earlier down in the midway. We took a picture together, but it was awesome to see some people all the way from New England to watch the Madhouse.
There are people watching this on FloRacing from all over the country and the world.
Egypt last week.
Egypt.
Nick White, serving with the U.S. Army, they watch on FloRacing in their barracks in the morning, I believe it is, in Egypt every week. So shout out to the boys over there fighting for us and protecting our freedoms. But hey, this guy's going to try to protect the lead, and that is the driver of the car known as Whisker Biscuit. It is Fuzzy Dinkles to the green.
Fuzzy Dinkles got a good jump. Colton Brown immediately to the high side. Brandon Brindle, Chuck Wall, AJ Sanders, Steven Sanders, all of the heavy hitters in this division running second, third, fourth, and probably soon to be fifth here if Colton Brown can't get down to the inside.
Here comes the battle for the lead. The 43 of Brendel underneath Dinkles. Dinkles back to second. Can he recover here? But no. Chuck Wall sends it in there into third position. Here comes AJ Sanders, and the train keeps it rolling all day long.
So now you've got the top 4 fastest cars all starting to separate. Levi Holt is making moves in the 6th spot. Getting underneath Colton Brown on the inside. Fuzzy Dinkles next in line. Peanut Baker trying to make moves as well underneath Brown, who continues to just not find a spot to get down back to the inside.
Tough go right there. Colton Brown further back. Now we look at Chuck Wall. Chuck Wall in the 2nd position right behind Brendel. They're single file right now back to the number 95 of Levi Holt, who moves up to the 5th spot by Dinkles. And now Dinkles will be feeling pressure back there, the black 02 car from the Kimono Japanese Steakhouse, number 22, the Peanut, who has a win so far this year, Peanut Baker. But up front, it's the 43 car of Brandon Lee Brendel, 7 laps in.
Not really much of a difference in lap times between Brendel and Wall. They managed to keep this gap of about 2 or 3 car lengths as Brendel will hit the cross flags at the start-finish line halfway.
Well, Dinkles goes around in the infield grass in 3 and 4. And his good night goes south halfway in this one. Truliant Federal Credit Union night of destruction started out with a little bit of destruction. Now we got a little bit of single file racing here around the quarter mile.
Keeping an eye on Brendel and Chuck Wall. Dinkles would be the 1-lap car that they may hit, but it's largely clean and green for the most part. On top of that, good battle beginning to develop as we look at Peanut Baker. Just up the racetrack, Levi Holt and Steven Sanders beginning to race for the 4th spot.
The battle on the track right now is in 4th, but we have a spinner. It is Andrew Cates, who has gone around in the number 51 Disco Turkey's car. I mean, the Disco Turkey was doing a little spin and a little disco jiving right there, right?
Something like that. That sounds about right.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the Disco Turkeys play. Ironically, it was here at Bowman Gray Stadium when they were playing the Uwharrie Wampus Cats live here at Bowman Gray.
2 of your favorite baseball nicknames.
Definitely 2 of them. And hey, this year you're going to see a lot of things here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Not just great NASCAR Weekly Racing Series action, but there's going to be a concert here as well. A concert. Then we've got the night before the finale, we've got ourselves the Kyle Busch Invitational. There is the replay. Hudson Auto Works replay.
Just got a little bit loose, I think, coming out of the final turn and spun himself into the grass. Single car incident, but that will bunch up the top 4. Lights are already off the modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle. One lap to go before we get back to it, and a handful of laps to close out this race. And it was already getting to be a good battle between Levi Holt and Steven Sanders. I don't think that's going to change here.
Did you see the guy that was dragging the blower? That was Michael Cates. That was the guy who spun there, the number 51, Andrew Cates. That was his dad. He works on the track crew as well as a volunteer here. You know, people could say all they want. Well, he's a race car driver. He's working the track crew too? Well, he's a volunteer, man. That is awesome. That's giving back here.
Oh, Chuck Wall didn't go. Chuck Wall didn't go. He stacks up everybody behind him, and that allows Steven Sanders to get a spot. That's worst case scenario for Chuck Wall. He backed up A.J. Sanders, and he basically just gave free points to Steven Sanders, who now has to hold off Levi Holt.
Oh, you know who likes this is the leader. The leader has a lead by a country mile right now after that mishap by Chuck Wall here. 13 laps on the board. 2 laps to go. We'll be coming to the white flag.
Watch this race. If that gap ends up being the difference for Steven Sanders, because Sanders was in 4th, Wall stacked up that inside line. Sanders was able to get around him on the high line and gain spots. Chuck Wall's going to gain some points, but not as many as he could have.
Well, the car up front right now comes around turn number 4. And now, Brandon Lee Brendel is a 40-time winner at the Madhouse.
And trouble for Steven Sanders at the line. He's going to lose spots.
Oh, the points leader.
Oil, I think, down on the racetrack, perhaps. I saw one car. That might have been Zach Taylor who was sliding. And so Steven Sanders lost some spots at the start-finish line. I think unofficially 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, how about the way the championship fight went back and forth just in those 15 laps?
Wow, Steven Sanders, if it was going to happen, though, it was happening to the start-finish line.
At the checker.
Yes, if it happened like a lap before, that could have proved disastrous for the points leader. But,
that's a big break.
Chuck Wall, that is a big break for him to try to catch up here in the point standings. 16-point swing last week in double points night. Brandon Lee Brendel's 40th career stadium stock win becomes the 18th driver in history, in the history of Bowman Gray Stadium, to win 40 races. Cheers, 40 to the 43.
And credit to Brendel, who just ran a really smart race, started in 6th, worked his way up through things, and just managed to keep his nose clean. And then once he got out front, never relinquished the track position and was able to cruise away to his 40th career win at the Madhouse.
Here's the Hudson Auto Works replay. Let's see if we could see what happens here. You see right there, Holt gets into Steven Sanders going into the turn, and don't know what happened there with Sanders, because it did look like his cockpit was completely full of smoke. It looked like there was definitely some oil down on the racetrack. They are actually cleaning it up right now. You see it in that replay there, all the smoke coming out of the 16 as he limps across the line, I believe in 4th place. But now let's throw it down trackside with your winner, Brandon Lee Brendel.
Brandon Brendel picks up the win. Brandon, come right over here, buddy. Apparently we're going without the truck tonight. Brandon, win number 4. Great season. By my calculations, number 40 of your career. Tell us about it.
Yeah, we had a really fast car. I hate that for Chuck. I don't believe I was in front of him when that caution came out. I think we had a faster race car, but I'd like to have raced him instead of taking it like that. But it's happened to me before, I guess. I hate that. I want to thank Todd Barnhart, first and foremost, with Infinity Insurance Group, Rick, Bad Brad with Velocita, Chad Chandler with Chandler Home Improvement, Junior and Race Engine.
Congratulations, Brandon. I know you want to go over here and pick up a winner's trophy at the
Brandon Brendel will join the trophy presenters for True Federal Credit Union Night of Destruction on Carolina Wood Floors Victory Lane. It showed up late, but it's here. We'll be back on FloRacing with the rest of this one. We've got a Sportsman Division race number 1 on tap.
Thank you, Randy William. Starting lineup for race 1 of our law. This is the John Barrow Sportsman Division. Starting 16th in the number 28 out of Lexington, Nate Gregg. Starting 15th out of Thomasville, the number 38 of Rich Scales. Starting 14th out of Winston-Salem, the number 51 of Austin Taylor. Starting 13th out of Lexington, the number 98 of Billy Gregg. Starting 12th in the 0-3 out of Winston-Salem, Sterling. Starting 11 out of Patrick Springs, Virginia, the number 5 of Jonathan Simicek. Starting 10th out of Rural Hall, the number 21 of the Tiger, Tommy Neal. Starting 9th out of Mooresville, the number 24 of A.J. Burtis. Starting 8th out of Winston-Salem, the number 99 of Brian Sykes Jr. And out of Winston-Salem, starting 7th, the number 42 of Joe Weevil. Starting 6th out of Tobaccoville, the number 26 of Austin Cates. Starting 5th out of Winston-Salem, the number 55 of Zach Orr. Starting 4th out of Walnut Cove, the number 88 of Chris Taylor. Starting 3rd, the number 18, his second race back with us. Starting 3rd, the number 18 of Kenny Balls. And outside road number 1 out of King, he is your points leader and a former champion in the Sportsman Division, Donkey Strong, Justin Taylor.
Welcome back to beautiful, historic Bowman Gray Stadium, Sportsman race number 1. They'll have 2 20-lappers on the card tonight. Let's give you the starting lineup for the first. Starting on the pole in the Carolina Axle Surgeons 37, it's Chris Nasty Massey. To the outside, the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds, number 12, your points leader, Donkey Strong, Justin Taylor.
Starting in 3rd out of Lexington, North Carolina, and the number 18, it's Kenny Bose. Starting in 4th in the Dan River Angus Farm, number 88, out of Winston-Salem, it's Chris Taylor.
Starting in 5th position in the number 55 Jerry Johnson Motors machine, it's Zach Orr. To the outside, the Tysinger Lawn Care, 26 for Austin Cates.
Starting in 7th in the number 42 Forsyth Auto Service machine out of Kernersville, North Carolina, it's Joe Weevil. Starting in 8th, it's the number 99 Specialized Graphics machine out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, for the Country Pimp, Brian Sykes Jr.
Starting 9th tonight in the Chalu Performance 24, it's Oswego, New York's A.J. Burness. To the outside, the Walkertown Mill, number 21, it's the Tiger, Tommy Neal.
Starting in 11th, the number 5 Sponsor Wanted machine out of Martinsville, Virginia. Get your name on the car. Number 5, Jonathan Simicek. And starting in 12th in the 03 Emerald Isle Realty machine out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, it's the Rockstar, Sterling Clemens.
Starting in lucky position 13 is the driver of, I love this sponsor, the Rocket Donkey, number 98. It's the great Billy Gregg. To the outside, welcome back to the Bad House for the Uptown Charlies, number 51 of Austin Taylor.
Starting in 15th of the number 38 Tough Shed machine out of Thomasville, North Carolina, it's the good guy, Mitch Gales. It's starting in 16th in the number 28 Bowman Law Personal Injury Attorneys machine out of Lexington, North Carolina, in the 28 car, Nate Gregg. 16 machines to contest this first race of the evening for the law offices of John Barrow Sportsman Division. And there is your points leader by 4 markers entering tonight, Donkey Strong Justin Taylor.
Donkey Strong Justin Taylor taking the points lead in double points night last week with 2 very strong finishes for Taylor. Hey, Billy Gregg had some strong finishes as well, but the gap, a 6-point gain last week in double points night for that driver of the number 12, is what got it done with a pair of 4th place finishes to take the points lead. There is Sterling Clemens, who won the first Twin 20 last week, and in front of him, the number 98, who's second in points. That's Billy Gregg. Hey, it's the first time this season a Gregg is not the points leader.
bit wild to think about as lights are off on the modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle. Next time by, we are going green for our first of 2 20-lap sportsman features at the Madhouse. Pretty good crowd on hand. Suspect a lot of people from Wilkesboro, like we talked about earlier, mixed in with the regular crowd from around Greensboro, High Point, Winston-Salem, and the rest of the triad, ready to get us going for the first race of the Law Office's John Barrow Sportsman Division on True Lion Federal Credit Union Night of Destruction.
Here we go. Coming to green, the Sportsman Division Twin 20s number 1 is underway.
Chris Massey got a little bit sideways, gets even more sideways. He keeps on catching the curb and somehow manages to catch the car. Gives up the lead to Justin Taylor, who goes up to the front. Kenny Bose now third. Zach Orr already trying to move him up the racetrack. Tommy Neal making contact with Orr too.
Big battle now for third. Big battle for third. Here comes the march of Zach Orr. Orr has been one of the most successful drivers this year. Now he motors his black and blue number 55 to the inside of Bose. Here comes the Tiger right behind, filling the hole. Brian Sykes Jr. to boot.
3 really fast drivers there aren't able to get underneath Kenny Bose. Going to try and chase after Massey and Taylor. A good line there. And for as much as Tommy Neal was playing bumper tag, he's going to try and get in the rear of Zach Orr again. But he's got to be careful, because if he gets into Zach Orr and gets into it too much, remember the history that those two have, where Orr got on top of Neal's car a few weeks ago. So Tommy Neal showing his displeasure early, and Brian Sykes Jr. may be able to take advantage.
The 6-time winner in 2026 has his mirrors full of the Tiger right now around the famed quarter mile. All the fans are seeing this. They're on their feet right now. Joe Weevil pulls his 42 to the infield and out of the way, but all eyes are on this battle of the Titans.
So now we keep an eye on this battle for third, because Orr and Neal have a great history this season, and Tommy Neal is not letting Zach Orr breathe. Bump, 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 and he spins himself out in addition to Zach Orr. They both go around. They'll both lose the track position, and the yellow flag will come out for the first time.
Synchronized spinning for 2 rivals playing bumper tag at Bowman Gray Stadium. Oh boy, the fans are leaning over the facade, telling them they're number 1, cheering, jeering. The Madhouse is alive.
Sometimes revenge is a dish best served cold, I guess, in this case. And the question is going to be, we know Zach Orr stopped in the grass.
Yes.
Tommy Neal tried to keep it going through the grass.
No, he stopped as well. He'll be going to the rear on that one.
Tommy Neal already sort of driving back up towards the front, I think, to make his case.
Wow.
That he never actually stopped. So we'll see how race control rules that. But I know the line of logic that the Neal camp is going to try and present to race control here.
Oh, let's take a look at the Hudson Auto Works replay right here to see what happened as the fans go nuts here. And he got into the backside of him right there and just finished him off. And when he did so and got to the throttle, he finished himself off. There's a good slow-mo replay of him getting into him right there. And you'll see the 21 spinning himself out right there after getting into this 55 about 4 times in one corner.
The dedication above all else.
Hey, hey, if you're going to do it, just do it well.
Right.
Although some people say he didn't do it well because he spun himself out. But, hey, I got to give it to Zach Orr, because he was he looked like I don't know, like he was a drifting champion out there for a little while. Just all the bumper shots to the left rear quarter panel and just slinging that thing sideways and working that throttle.
Lights are going to go off in the modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle this time. Orr and Neal are going to start pretty deep in this field. So we're going to see whether or not they're going to have an opportunity to gain some track position in the last 13 laps of this race. But that's going to move Brian Sykes Jr. up to third behind Chris Massey. And then we should have a few new characters. The Greggs, AJ Burness, having a great run so far in 6 as well.
Fans are just... they're colorful around this place right now. I'll tell you what, you know how a DJ gets people pumped up? Tommy Neal, love him or hate him, he gets everybody here at the Madhouse pumped up. Whether you love him or hate him, it doesn't matter. One driver that doesn't like him is the 55. One driver that right now loves him is your race leader, your points leader, Justin Taylor.
Taylor in control of this race. Brian Sykes Jr. immediately trying to send Chris Massey up the racetrack out of the way. Massey dirt tracking it out of the corner. Sykes with a little bit better run on the inside. He'll get to the inside of Massey and try and take the spot in the south turn. He may bring Billy Gregg and Nate Gregg with him. Billy now to the inside of Massey, going to easily take the third spot. Nate going to follow to fourth. Massey looks like he's going to slide in line and will land in the fifth position.
Massey sliding on back. Give that second spot to Sykes Jr. and the number 99, Billy Gregg, moving up to the third position. Nate Gregg in fourth, who had a good run last week, now halfway in this one.
Justin Taylor beginning to open up a lead. Brian Sykes going to have the opportunity to run him down. Not a lot of lap traffic, just Jonathan Simicek sort of hanging in the wings. The only car really up the racetrack that they may catch at this point. And not really much of a difference in the lap times between Justin Taylor and Sykes. Sykes might have gained maybe half a car length at best that last lap by, but it hasn't particularly come down. But now as we start getting some heat into these tires, maybe this might be Brian Sykes Jr.'s opportunity. Simicek pulls off to the inside. He'll let the leaders pass.
The 55 of Orr has Tommy Neal to his backside. They just got around Mitch Gales further back in the field. The 55 entering the top 5 in points last week with his big win, now having to come from the rear. He and Neal trying to get around a whole host of race cars. Now Sterling Clemens is in their eyesight as the next one's on their list. The black 03, though, is working all over the backside of the red number 18 of Kenny Bose.
Kenny Bose has got a whole mirror full of Sterling Clemens, who is going to get a good run on the backside. Looked to the inside, thought better of it, checks up. They'll stack up in the middle of the north turn. Bose now gets a tap there, sort of an accordion effect. Neal was shoving Orr, who shoved Clemens, who shoved Bose, who gets another nudge there in the corner and gets stuck as Justin Taylor and Brian Sykes Jr. are now getting closer to each other with 5 laps to go.
5 laps to go, and he's giving it all the gusto, but the big battle is back there with Sterling Clemens trying to get around Bose. Sideways they go. Now the Rockstar to the bottom side. Can he get the spot underneath the red number 18 machine? Zach Orr patiently waiting right behind him, and a little bit more of a gentle nudge from the number 21 of Tommy Neal.
Neal still there hiding behind Zach Orr, who's trying to beat Kenny Bose off of the corner, and Will should have the spot going into 3. Meanwhile, great battle for the lead, and Brian Sykes Jr. drives in deep into the corner and tries to move Justin Taylor up the racetrack. Taylor tries to pinch him. Sykes almost loses it on the back straightaway. Billy Gregg going to go to the high line and maybe get second.
Mayhem incorporated in the closing laps. White flag is out. One more trip around the famed quarter mile for Donkey Strong, Justin Taylor. Billy Gregg, one more Hail Mary. Will he be full of grace? Yes, he is. The number 12 comes off the turn. The winner.
That is one of the better defensive drives I've seen in a while. I remember when Tim Brown and John Holloman were fighting each other, I think was that last year, 2 years ago,
yes.
And Holloman blocked him over and won. That's the closest thing I've seen in this division since that, in terms of hanging on to a lead when you've got somebody all over you. Brian Sykes was almost in the dang fuel can of Justin Taylor, and Justin Taylor was able to hang on Donkey Strong style to get the win.
Hey, I'll tell you what, that was very much like Holloman's block and slide through the grass. I mean, blocking is okay. You're at a famed quarter mile here, flat, no banking. You know, you race offensively, you race defensively. That's just the name of the game here, man. And that you see his brother now, Austin Taylor, coming up to congratulate him. A good family right there, so connected to the Bowman Gray Stadium family. Their mother, of course, works for the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds and for the stadium here. Let's look at the Hudson Auto Works replay, and it got crazy here at the end. You see Justin Taylor up front. This is the drive to the finish, and no contact, much contact there.
A little bit of contact there, but not enough to move Justin Taylor up the racetrack, and he's able to collect his 13th Sportsman win. That ties him with Cal Edwards and Amberlin for 30th place on the all-time Sportsman wins list, as Justin Taylor offering up a Kyle Busch bow to the fans over at the exit of the south turn.
He always stops there. He's got some family that sits over there and friends. That's very Justin Taylor tradition right there of celebrating on that back straightaway. And what a wild one that was. Holy hat here at Bowman Gray Stadium. What a way to get you started here if you're new to the Madhouse and you've only seen the viral clips on the internet of things that happen here and things that go bump in the night. But there's so much good racing here, and that was just a perfect example of wild but good racing.
It got very chaotic at the end in the best of ways. It was a great battle between Brian Sykes Jr., Billy Gregg, and Justin Taylor at the end of this, but in the end, it's Justin Taylor who had the opportunity to celebrate in Carolina Wood Floors Victory Lane. Let's go down to track PA announcer Randy Pulliam, who is with our first sportsman winner of the night.
8, 10, 12, 14, and 16. The number he draws will determine where he starts for the second 20-lapper, courtesy of the Elite Underground Madhouse Utility Madhouse Scramble. Keep your eyes on the video board. We'll have a moment to talk to Justin. He drew number 8. Number 8 for Justin. There he goes. Justin, come right over here, my friend. We're having to go the old-fashioned microphone tonight. Head on over to the Carolina Wood Floors Winner Circle. Justin, win number 2 on the season. You came in leading the points, did absolutely nothing to damage that. You drew number 8 for the second one. What do you think the chances are that you can put that number 12 back in victory lane a second time tonight?
We're going to work on it right here, because I told them if we ever win the first race and we pull an 8, we'll either take it home in a box or we'll win again. I'm not points racing. I'm here to win these trophies, and I want to be the next driver to win 2 in one night. I'm not going to be satisfied with second or third or none of that. It's time to go.
Well, that's a good go. Congratulations on the win. Win number 2.
Oh, that was some words right there. Folks, you're going to want to watch the show in the next 20-lapper after this modified race. It's going to be a wild one with Justin Taylor coming from 8. Here we go. Look at this. This is what led to the craziness. This is before the white flag. Okay, you see the 99 get into the number 12. Now, Taylor is trying to thwart that effort by the number 99. They're in the grass. They're both sideways. This is some hardcore racing here at Bowman Gray Stadium at its best.
And this is also before Brian Sykes Jr. was almost in the fuel tank, pretty much, of the 12 machine of Justin Taylor, exiting turn 4, coming to the white flag lap. I see modifieds. Matthew Donor, that means we need to take a break. So we will be back with more action for the NASCAR Local Racing Series powered by O'Reilly Auto Parts from Bowman Gray Stadium right after this on FloRacing.
Folks, we are back at Bowman Gray Stadium, and while folks get ready to get their little donuts, apple cider, that's my favorite flavor. Let's get you set for the first Twin 25 for the NASCAR Brad's Golf Cars Modifieds. And now, the starting lineup for the Ground Pounders. A front row for the ages, folks. On the pole, the ace, the number 1, the Citrus Safe machine from Walnut Cove, North Carolina. It's Burt Myers. To the outside, the Jerry Hunt Supercenter Hayes Jewelers Special from Tobaccoville. It's the Rocket, Tim Brown.
Starting in third, the 07 Mantle Realty machine out of Walkertown, North Carolina. It's the Real Deal, Riley Neal. And starting in fourth out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, and the Mavis Garage Stores, number 16, Chris Fleming.
Starting fifth tonight in the Choice Tire and Automotive, number 4, it's the working man, Jason Myers. And to the outside, the hot pink car, the number 51 Wagner Appliances machine for the Snowman, Junior Snow.
Starting in seventh, the number 12 AAR Roofing machine out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, driven tonight by Dean Ward. Starting in eighth, out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, in the 99 River Place Logistics machine, piloted tonight by Jordan Fleming.
Starting ninth tonight, the Quality Roof Seamers, number 14. It's generational star Trey Hutchins. To the outside, welcome back to the Madhouse for the driver of the Citrus 8 Pro, number 15. It's Skip Ryan Flores.
Starting at 11th, the number 44 M&M Transport car out of Curtisville, North Carolina. It's Daniel Beeson. Starting in 12th in the 64 Big B Coffee car out of Lexington, North Carolina, Ethan Truhl.
Starting in lucky position number 13 tonight, driver of the Steelman's Ace Hardware, number 9, it's Kyle Southern. To the outside, a 3-time winner this year, the Ideacom number 6, it's Slate Myers.
Starting in 15th with the number 75 USNE Power car out of Walburg, North Carolina, it's Lee Jeffrey. Starting in 16th in the number 5 Yadkin Valley Aviation machine out of Poptown, North Carolina, it's the Ironman Randy Butner.
Starting 17th tonight, a number 47 car from the Riggs Racing Group. It's the Triad Mulch machine for Jackson Casper. To the outside, the Greensboro Grasshoppers sponsor this rookie. It's Mason Lawson in the 82.
Starting at 19th of the 00 Coble Enterprises car out of Monroe, North Carolina, it's the Flying Taco Danny Probst. And starting in 20th in the 39 Old Well Tavern car out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, Gerald Robinson Jr.
Starting in 21st first position tonight is the driver of the number 92 Colors Edge machine. It's Brody Jones. To the outside, the rookie in the Venom Carbon number 17, it's Lonnie Oakley.
Starting at 23rd in the number 77 Market USA machine out of Jonesville, North Carolina, it's the lovely Susan Harwell. Starting at 24th in the 11 machine, the Flying Beret, Corey Levang. And Shannon McGlamory, the number 35 car, starts 25th shotgun on the field for the first race of 2 this evening for the Brad's Golf Cars Modified Division here at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Well, right now, the Modifieds are on the track. There is Slate Myers, who has moved into 3rd position in points with that big win last year. He won a 25-lapper, he won a 50-lapper, and now 100-lapper. Slate Myers, his 3rd win of the season. But hey, it's his old man who's on top of the division. And right now, Burt Myers and Tim Brown, 1 and 2 in points. Folks, they are on the front row and separated by only 6 points.
We've seen a lot of great points battles between these two throughout the years. I have a weird hunch this could be one of the all-time points battles between these two, and that's saying something for as good as it's been year in, year out. With those two, some of the very best to do it. And I think we shouldn't take that for granted either, to see that kind of excellence sustained.
No, I mean, it's just what, look at this crowd. That's what they're here for. Mm-hmm. They're here for their favorites, whether it's Lee Jeffries or Randy Butner. But, you know, the 2 masters of the Madhouse, and you can't deny that, are those 2 drivers. Here's a driver that's entered the conversation, though. While Slate Myers has gotten his 1st, 2nd, and 3rd win, we've been anxiously awaiting this driver. But I'll tell you what, Riley Neal has come into his own. Now his 61st tonight. Modified start at Bowman Gray Stadium, but you know, really is really done good. 6 top 5 finishes this year for that young driver.
Starting to come into his own, picked up their purple chrome after he had a partnership with the Winston-Salem Nash, the high A affiliate of the Chicago White Sox, ahead of the Madhouse Classic here 1 year ago, and has just sort of stuck with that purple chrome ever since. It makes that car pop amongst the rest of this field a very colorful machine as we get ready to go.
The pace car dips in. These are the drivers who live by the grace of God and 600 horsepower. The masters of the madhouse lead us to green. Myers and Brown.
Myers with that run on the bottom. Tim gets a good run on the high line. Riley Neal to third. Chris Fleming and Jason Myers make contact. There was an accordion effect that sent Riley Neal up the racetrack. They managed to keep it all together. So single file amongst the first, call it, what, 7 cars? So you get back to Dean Ward and Trey Hutchins, who are all over each other for 8. Good feed there amongst the group. Tim Brown now trying to settle in and reel in Burt Myers. Riley Neal providing all sorts of pressure, not allowing Tim to get away. Further back, Daniel Beeson and company racing really hard. Kyle Southerdy's here. Ethan Truel, Lee Jeffries, and Skip Flores now has found his way to the head of this pack.
Great to see Skip Flores here. He's here with his daughter, who's actually racing quarter midgets and just took a victory this past week. And there's Daniel Beeson's machine. But yeah, Skip Flores to 15, you know, goes over the wall in the O'Reilly Series. And now, huge melee ensuing just behind it. It is the 75 of Lee Jeffries, Ethan Truel, the sophomore sensation involved, as well as the Flying Taco.
I saw Lee Jeffries spinning across the track. Sort of got hooked and sent to the outside. Couldn't quite tell where exactly that started, but that was part of the battle one way or another.
Lee Jeffries not having the season that he had hoped for at all. The driver of that number 75 USNE Phoenix packaging machine, trying to get that car into gear, but it doesn't look good for Lee Jeffries, whose car sits in turn number 4.
He's at minimum got a right front tire that he'll need to change. You can see it flat there, resting up against the racetrack. Question will be whether or not there's any damage to the right front suspension as well. As we go to our Hudson Auto Works replay, and we'll get a good look here. Daniel Beeson gets sent up the racetrack, and there it is. Oh, yeah, there probably is some damage to the right front suspension. He took a shot there, did Lee Jeffries, as he got spun up the racetrack.
Definitely a tie rod broken on that machine, probably an upper as well. They had some definite damage on the 75. Just not a Lee Jeffries type year. We're used to seeing him in the conversation of pole positions, and it hasn't been the case for him. And as well as, you know, he doesn't have, you know, 13 races this year. He doesn't even have a top 5 in the 2026 season, and now he walks the long walk back to his trailer. Top finish came back in May, 7th place for Lee Jeffries.
This has been a case of good driver, good car, bad luck. I talked to him a few weeks ago. He's really excited because they managed to put a new front clip on that car, and they thought that was going to unlock some of the speed that had been sort of lying in the shadows. And I think the speed's been there the last few weeks of practice. Times have ticked up a bit, but there just hasn't been the luck to show for it. And I think part of that, especially with the mods, if you qualify a little bit further back, if you can't get qualifying again, you leave yourself open to having to avoid other things that are not necessarily of your making. Daniel Beeson was the one who went sideways there, and he just couldn't have an opportunity to get away.
You see the 15 car right there. New sponsor, Citrus Safe Pro, on board for Skip Flores. Hey, you know, we nicknamed his car last year White Lightning, right? He told me today that some guys have been calling him Skipper the Ripper. I don't know about Skipper the Ripper. It kind of sounds a little too, it sounds very Dillner. It's a little too cheesy. It's a little too corny, you know, but Skipper the Ripper, I mean, I'd go with Skipper. I'd go with Skip. I'd go with the Ripper. I don't know if I'd go with Skipper the Ripper. It's just not a modified nickname.
I'm not even sure what to make of that, because
if you drove the demo derby, I'd be fine with going, hey, Skipper the Ripper.
Is that you judging yourself at that point?
And I'm very judgy, I guess. I'm not just judging Skip. I'm judging myself.
The black and white look there on White Lightning, as we know it at least as of this evening. Still looking sharp. Car still looking clean. He had a pretty good run, that first green flag run. So keep an eye on Manasquan, New Jersey native. As the lights are off on the modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle, we'll go back to green flag racing on lap 5 of 25. 20 laps to go for these drivers. Myers, Brown, Neal, Fleming, Jason Myers, your top 5 as the modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle pulls to its place inside the north turn. And we get set to go after it one more time. Burt Myers back on the gas pedal. Tim Brown in hot pursuit, and Riley Neal. Those three with a good restart. A little bit of a gap to Fleming as they start to stretch out down the back straightaway.
Right now, Riley Neal sitting in the third position, has two of the greats in front of him. What can he do with them? That 07 car looks pretty fast with good drive off the corner. He gives a tap to the back bumper of the Hayes Jewelers Special. Down the back straightaway they go into the north turn.
Whether or not Tim's car comes into its own once we get a few green flag laps, we'll see. But at least right now, Riley Neal's got the better handling race car. Absolutely no doubt about it. Tim's car looks much tighter in comparison. I wonder whether or not we might be waiting to see what Chris Fleming has to add to this, because Riley Neal is just beating down the rear bumper of Tim Brown right now. He's much faster in the center of the corner, and Tim doesn't have the speed to drive off, but he's going to get a breather. We've got one car that was slow on the back straightaway to bring out our NC811.org caution.
It's Danny Probst, the Flying Taco, the driver of the PRF Chassis 00. There he is, Trey Hutchins, number 14 machine, and talking to his father, Bobby Hutchins, today, and he's very happy that they finally got the speed that they've been looking for a long time underneath his son's race car. And I have to say, I got to call myself out. We were talking about the young guns last week, and I just tripped over. I'm like, I thought I knew how old Trey was, and I think I blurted out 25. I was off by 3 years. 28-year-old driver right there, but works for as a general. For General Motors in the Formula One division of General Motors, but also welcoming a new sponsor on the side of that car, WinCupZone.com, the last 2 times we've been here at the stadium. But his grandfather fielded a lot of modifieds for years here in Bowman Gray Stadium and Southern Modified Wars, a generational talent behind the wheel of that number 14.
Trey Hutchins currently running towards the back half of the top 10, scored in the 8th position right now is Hutchins, as we work our way through this first of 2 25-lap features for the Brad's Golf Cars Modified Division. Great to see new partners jumping on board with any driver here at the Madhouse, and congratulations to Trey and everybody on that team on the new partnership.
And look at the car in front of him. Dean Ward doesn't run here every week. Of course, you know the Ward family. If you're a big late model person, you might know Trevor and Dylan. But Dean Ward, a very accomplished race car driver himself, and a 3-time blunderbuss champion here and a champion of the Buzz Bombers, the Stadium Stock Division, and a race winner in the modifieds as well. 8 times he's won here in a modified. Great run tonight for the great veteran driver of the number 12. Here we go. We're going back to green. Single file restarts in the 2025s tonight here for the Brad's Golf Cars Modifieds. Burt Myers, the famed orange bumper. He's got the best view in the house. Green flag is back out. Number 83 to his backside.
Burt beginning to gap Tim once again, already a car length by the time they get back to the north turn. Riley Neal still right on the rear deck lid of Tim Brown's machine. Chris Fleming has not let either of those front 2 get away. More contact between Neal and Tim Brown. The top 5 all pretty much 1 car length separated between them.
A little bit of bumper tag as we come to lap 10 for these modified single file all around the famed quarter mile right now, except for further back. We talked about Ward, we talked about Hutchins. They're starting to brew a battle themselves with Jordan Fleming now getting into the number 14, and they're sideways off the turn. Skip Flores does a good job in avoiding them. Now, nerf bar to nerf bar, they bang through turn number 2.
Fabulous work there from Skip Flores to avoid running into either one of Hutchins or Fleming. Fleming will go up the racetrack. Hutchins with a little bit of contact. Yellow flag is out again on lap 12.
Oh, I don't think the 14 of Hutchins is very happy with that move by the number 99 of Jordan Fleming. But, around the famed quarter mile, sometimes you got to use a little bit of the chrome horn to move somebody up.
Sometimes you can. Track services crew just cleaning off the inside line over at the exit of the north turn.
Yeah, a little bit of dirt kicked up on that racetrack. It's a shame, too, because that was a great little battle right there between those 2 very young and talented race car drivers. Getting physical here at Bowman Gray Stadium, as you have to do in these Twin 25s. Some people say, man, I don't know if I like. I've heard it a lot. People say, I don't like coming to the Twin 25s because of the lack of double file restarts. Personally, I agree, because I do love double file, because double file make you smile, as they always used to say. Ben Dodd, shout out. But the one thing about the Twin 25s is sometimes it brings out that veracity. Sometimes that brings out that animal within you that knows you have to use the iron to iron contact to get physical and move somebody.
Two guys up front know that pretty well. We talked about good championship battles. The best title fight they had, 2002. They tied on points, and the tiebreaker was most second place finishes. It went to the second tiebreaker because Bert and Tim each had one win. But Tim Brown had the most second place finishes. Tim Brown was the 2002 Bowman Gray Stadium track champion.
Remember that night being here and just being complete. Who won the title the end of the night? Everyone was like, who was it? Who was it? The two masters of the Bad House. Here we go. Coming to green. 11 laps on the board. Myers, your leader. Second place, Tim Brown. Third for Riley Neal. Fourth for Chris Fleming. Fifth position for Uncle Jason, the working man. Sixth position for Junior Snow. Seventh is Ward. Eighth, Hutchins. And ninth, the 99 of Jordan Fleming.
This is the most strung out I think the top five have been so far. Bird definitely walking away from Tim. Is Riley Neal going to start to put the pressure on as we hit halfway? Tim backing it up now, maybe about 3 car lengths back of Burt Myers. Riley Neal still right there within maybe half a car length. There's the opportunity to start using the Chrome 1 if Riley so chooses.
Some contact further on back in the field. Looking all eyes on this race course right now. A quarter-mile oval with a football field around it. Big battle right now. Trey Hutchins hops to the outside of the number 12. Here comes Hutchins by Ward. Great move by that young driver. Jordan Fleming trying to do the same. Ward looks like something's gone awry possibly on his car as he bounces through the turtles. Contact there. Fleming with a save. Rockets that car to the inside of the number 12 to try to regain that position. Here comes Skip Flores also to the bottom.
Or with a good run off of turn 4. Flores a little bit loose underneath. Maybe some contact in the middle of the corner, but further back. Got a car spun and stopped in the middle of the south turn. Randy Butner and Ethan Truhl behind. And it brings out another NC811.org caution. It's the 47 of the Friendly Ghost, Jackson Casper.
Casper telling me in the drivers meeting today he just wants to finish a race here. Has not done it so far. They've had issues that plagued the engine of that car. Finally found out that it was actually overheating the engine. It was actually the radiator. But then, of course, the last time he was out, that big wreck coming to green that took him out and gave him some big-time suspension damage on that 47. So he was talking to his dad and said, tonight's goal is finish, 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 finish.
To finish first, you must first finish, and so on and so forth. Classic racing maxims there. Good look at the Iron Man, Randy Butner, the driver who has more starts in modified competition at Bowman Gray Stadium than anybody else, racing for STS Superior Trailers Solutions, Muddy Creek Motorsports and Company.
And also the longest sponsor in the history of racing, Carolina Triad Choice Realty by Amanda Tucker.
Yeah.
Holy Lord, that's a mouthful. I remember one time she messaged me to make sure we got the verbiage right. I love sponsors that are actually, active and will reach out to us or whatnot. That's a great thing. They pay attention. They love the stadium. And, I made sure I get it right after that. Because, you don't want to disappoint a sponsor. I mean, I met the guys from, of Steelman's Ace Hardware last week, and they were really nice and, active. They don't just sponsor and put their logo on a car here. They follow it. They're here. They watch the broadcast. This is a big thing here at Bowman Gray when you're putting your name out in front of 16,000 people on a Saturday night. Well, lap 16 on the board. Burt Myers will lead them to green here around a packed house.
Burt on the gas pedal. Tim Brown now trying to work to the outside. Big contact there in the middle of the corner between Brown and Riley Neal. Chris Fleming's just sort of been waiting there for a little bit, I think. There's an opportunity to do something if he so chooses, but he's been just sort of hanging out fourth. He's got to be careful. He's got Jason Myers beginning to put the pressure on for fifth. But Burt, again, just able to gap Tim by about a car length right off of these restarts again and again and again. He tied Paul Radford for the second most poles here at Bowman Gray. 62nd career pole for Burt, trying to convert it into another trip to Carolina Wood Floors Victory Lane, coming to lap 19.
Right behind them, though, is the number 83, who started to stretch out a little bit of gap between he and the 07, and now further back, Jackson Casper and the number 17 of Lonnie Oakley getting together. Ethan Truel right in front of those two race cars, that orange and black Big B Coffee number 64. And yeah, we had some Big B Coffee before, some good iced coffee. Now looking back to the battle for second, shaping up with 5 laps to go, now 4 laps to go across the line. The 83 now getting reeled in once again by Riley Neal, whose car's got really good drive off. I'd say in the center is where, you know, he's had a little bit of trouble, but his drive in and drive off has been spectacular.
And really, really sharp over the course of this race as they continue to chase the ace, Burt Myers. Of note, Chris Fleming and Jason Myers starting to get in a really good battle for what would be the 4th position, just a little bit further back of this bunch, but pretty evenly spaced out amongst the top 3.
White flag unfurled, 16,000 fans on their feet. The driver of the number 1 is your leader by a country mile. And now coming through the north turn, the ace, Burt Myers, becomes a 106-time winner at Bowman Gray Stadium. 1 away from the mark of the driver to his rear, Tim Brown.
Everybody got the Jaws music?
Da-dum, da-dum, dum-dum-dum-dum. The history books, I've always said, are always open here at Bowman Gray Stadium. And the pen, the ink is never dry. And especially, we're living in an era right now that we have to appreciate. An era where it's not just one car dominating, one car making record runs. It's 2 head-to-head drivers swapping back and forth, checkered flags, and great stories that are the foundation of what makes Bowman Gray Stadium beautiful.
The fans know it here, too. I see tarps off down at the entry to the south turn, celebrating Burt Myers' 106th win here at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Great reference, tarps off. You know, if you're a Letterkenny fan, you might get that one.
Baseball fan too.
Baseball fan, yeah, true.
So, but this is how you win titles at Bowman Gray. It sounds so obvious, but execute, execute, execute. Go out, qualify well, hit your marks. Don't let anybody move you up the racetrack. Go out, win the race, make it look simple, make it look easy. It's not. It's hard to win here at Bowman Gray Stadium, but if you had watched that race, you wouldn't necessarily know it, because Burt Myers made pretty quick work of everybody tonight.
You know, we said he's 1 away from the all-time wins mark behind Tim Brown. Remember, he's 1 championship away from also tying Tim Brown. Folks, let's go down to a wild victory lane as we look at the Madhouse Scramble to see what the shakeup will be for race number 2. Let's go down right now to Randy Pulliam.
Will determine how the field is inverted
For the second 25-lap modified event. Also, winner, winner, chicken dinner. If Burt takes home the win in the second 25-lapper, and you've loaded the Chick-fil-A app, you will win chicken nuggets courtesy of Chick-fil-A. But you've got to make sure that you have the app downloaded on your phone. Keep your eyes on the scoreboard for the Elite Underground Utility Madhouse Scramble redraw. He draws number 14. 14 for the ace, Burt Myers. Burt, head on back here, Burt. We're going back to 1968 and a hardwire mic here. Burt, you've tied your son for the most wins in the division this season so far.
How about that, man? That's a feat in itself. He reminded me last week that he had the most wins. I tell you, we worked really hard to get the car to be good for 25 lappers for qualifying, and it showed. But I just can't do it without these guys. can't thank them enough. Citrus Safe, Laughlin Concrete, PSR, man. How about that PSR chassis? It dang near drives itself. Choice Tire and Automotive. Ideal, baby. Don't let me forget. Don't let me forget Ideal, man. MJ, RE. Golly, man, it never gets old. Never gets old.
No, it doesn't. You drew 14. You've had some bad draws this season. You drew 14. Takes you back there.
All right, Burt Myers with the big win, and we're going to have monster trucks coming out right now. Hopefully Burt Myers and them get out of the way. We'll be back.
You try to get in, try to do as good as you can in the points, try to come out clean. But we're trying to win every time we go out, so we'll see what happens. Well, Chris and I and about 15,000 others are hungry. We'd like to have some chicken nuggets. How about going and taking that second win tonight? So ever since Slate got his first win, we've been going to Chick-fil-A before we come here. So I would love for these fans to be able to get some free chicken nuggets tonight. We love it too. Congratulations, Burt Myers picks up his third win in the first 25-lap event for the Brad's Golf Car Modified. Race fans, coming up next is the Monster Truck Show. And to all of us, all the fans who are down on the front stretch, we cannot begin the Monster Truck Show until everyone is off the track. And once again, we want to remind you, some of the lighting displays used during this event may be disruptive to people who are sensitive to light.
We are back at Bowman Gray Stadium, and there you have it. We have 3 Luminas, we have a Chrysler, we have a Buick LeSabre, and I think that might be a Lincoln almost dead center, but we do know that Cole Trickle, Russ Wheeler are represented there, as well as Rowdy Burns with the 3 Luminas. Those cars aren't going to race, folks. Those cars are going to get crushed. So if that's your white car and you parked it there, look out, folks. It's not coming back in one piece, because it's True Liant Federal Credit Union
Night of Destruction.
And folks, we're going to have a light show for you here as the monster trucks enter the arena here in just a few minutes after these victory lane photos. What we're going to do too when this happens is we want to give you a sense of the Madhouse. And we have 2 great announcers here, the great Randy Pulliam, who grew up watching races as a child here, and now just loves the fact that he presents the Madhouse here to the house, the PA announcer. And then, of course, Chris Carter, one of the great personalities in short track auto racing. And we're going to throw it down to them because we want to paint the picture to you of what it's like to be here on a Saturday night at Bowman Gray Stadium, especially with some of this colorful action here with specialty events. Let's go down right now to Randy Pulliam.
House fans, I got a question for you. Are you ready for the monster trucks? Linnell Johnson with True Light, hear you. We said, are you ready for the monster trucks? Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to join with Linnell Johnson from True Liant Federal Credit Union. He's going to count you down with the scoreboard. Is going to count you down from 5.
Get ready. 5, 4, 3, Let's go!
And there, kind of makes me, hey! Chris Carter, what the? Oh my goodness. John Dale, we've got a big problem.
My keys are there. My keys are in my car.
I don't have a ride home, and Chris Carter doesn't either. Did you say the Uber?
Yeah, Uber will get you home.
Race fans, let them hear it. The more you yell and scream, the bigger show they'll put on for you. Bad News travels fast, and full bore, look at the air. Brendan Darrow has been driving Bad News Travels Fast since 2011. The numbers displayed on the helmet of the Paperboy character represents the age of Brandon's son. The character on the left side panel features hair strands under the helmet and represents the age of his daughter. Both of these monster trucks feature 66-inch tires. Ed Eckert in full bore. Been performing since 2002. He's a grandpa to 10 beautiful grandchildren. You can follow his escapades on fullboreracing.com. I'd like to take this time now to rescind my thanks to General Manager Austin Schufert. Looks like Full Bore is going to do some donuts here, or they're going to hit them from each side. Stereo airtime with Bad News Travels Fast and Full Bore. They're going to go at it again. You can do louder than that. Cheer for them, stand up and yell. They want to put on a show for you tonight. He may be ready to do some donuts. Let him hear it. Full bore. Not to be outdone. Bad News Travels Fast. Ed Eckert in Full Bore describes himself as a normal, easygoing guy, but he says monster truck driving is the biggest thrill you could ever want. Now, Bad News Travels Fast over here on the front stretch. Madhouse fans, do you like what you see so far? They can hear you in the cockpit of those trucks. Full Bore doing some donuts on the backstretch. Bad News certainly has traveled fast for Chris Carter and myself tonight. We have no way home. Bad News Travels Fast. back of that tailgate says, "You lose to bad news." Full bore. Gonna follow him up. He's gonna go over it again as well. On the backstretch. Let bad news travels fast. Hear ya.
Monster truck excitement. Saturday, Saturday, Saturday at Bowman Gray Stadium. We'll sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge, 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 edge. Look at those cars crushed, folks. Rest in peace. Moment of silence for the Lumina. Now we go to break. We'll come back with Sportsman Race number 2.
It's time for us to call an Uber, buddy. I've already got it handled, Randy Pulliam. I want to rescind my thanks to General Manager Austin Schubert. I'm beginning to think this was a setup. The parking was not so grand after all. And I'll be talking to you after this, buddy. Race fans, I'd like to introduce to you right now the winner of the John Deere lawn tractor, courtesy of James River Equipment. Ladies and gentlemen, Darren Cottle from Yadkinville by way of Alaska. Wow. Darren, you come to a race, you get to pull a Bobby Boucher, a Waterboy, and drive a John Deere home. How about it? That's pretty dang awesome. When we mow on the highway, all things home. Well, congratulations to you, and we appreciate our good friends with James River Equipment. Thank you so much. We do this yearly, and it's a great, great giveaway. Thank you very much. It's great advertisement. Stadium stands are always full. Always excitement going on. Thank you again. Congratulations again, ladies and gentlemen, to Darren Cottle, the winner of the John Deere Riding Board. Darren, it looks like, is going to pace the field for the second 20-lapper. We're going to have a moment to talk with our good buddy, Ed Eckert and Brandon Maras, driver of Full Board and Travels Fast, respectively. Ed, get you first. What a thrill. It's got to be a thrill. A packed house as usual at Bowman Gray. I would think nothing less, Bowman Gray. Every year we come out here, these guys do it. Bobby Worley, we can hear you up in there. So I saw on your website, are you really that easygoing a guy? It says you want the
Oh boy, we're back here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Replace your divots. Replace your divots, folks. There's a lawnmower on the track also. Lawnmower in the infield, grass. Maybe it's going to help out cutting some of this. There it is, Jimmy Brown's on the lawnmower. They tried to get Eric Messer to drive it, the track photographer, but his prowess so far in motor vehicles has not been good enough. So Jimmy Brown, head of the track crew, decided to drive it. Taylor Hodges was driving it earlier, taking some fast laps. She has the grand lap to this year in tractor qualifying. There's Squeaky Brown, part of the beloved Citrus Safe track crew, doing his best to clean up the track surface. Folks, everything's entertaining here at Bowman Gray Stadium, even our beloved track crew. Hard-working group of people Eric Messer, the track photographer, on the front straightaway right now as they take pictures and interview some of the monster truck racers. Messer, we love to pick on him. But, hey, we love him. You only pick on the ones you love, right, Pike?
I suppose. Man, I feel for whoever parked out there because I don't think they're getting their car back without a pretty hefty insurance claim. Those are totaled and then some, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're done. There's Eric Messer, one of the great track photographers in America, who we love. But, you know, yeah, he just can't. He's got to go to some driving schools or something. You know, he couldn't drive the Gator earlier this year twice. You know, they said no to him for driving the tractor.
Here's the problem. He could have practiced on
Peter Strada even drove the tractor.
Right. He could have practiced on a sim racing setup, but he sold that off a few weeks ago too.
Yes.
So
I think he's given up on driving.
Yeah.
From what I understand, he might just walk everywhere. Look at it right now. He's just walking over to his spot in turn number 1 and 2 to get some more photos.
For as much work as he does here, he's going to have to walk a lot, and I think it works out well that he's able to do everything because he can do everything because he did do everything. He also is responsible for a lot of the animations on the scoreboard here at Bowman Gray. He was the one who helped render all those too. So this is a man of many talents who I think we are very lucky to have.
Well, folks, let's get you the starting lineup of this one because guess what? Because of the Madhouse Scramble, looky here who's on the pole. The number 55 machine for Zach Orr to the outside. Dylan Ward in the number 18.
Starting in third of the Pendry Home Improvement Machine out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, it's the 03 of Sterling Clements. Starting in fourth, the 37 Carolina Axle Surgeons Machine out of Pomptown, North Carolina, Chris Massey.
Starting fifth tonight in the Bowman Law, number 28, it's Nate Gregg alongside the Sykes Metal Roofing number 99 for Brian Sykes Jr.
Starting in seventh in the 98 Velocity Machine out of Lexington, North Carolina, it's Billy Gregg. Starting in eighth, our first race winner, the EME Concrete Specialist Machine out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, in the 12, Justin Taylor.
Starting in the ninth position, the number 21 Harkey Litigation Machine for the Tiger, Tommy Neal. To the outside, the Exeldyne number 38, it's the good guy, Mitch Gale.
Starting at 11th in the 51 Wade Interiors number 51 Machine out of King, North Carolina, Austin Taylor. Starting in 12th out of Oswego, New York, in the Benchmark Solutions number 24, it's the Furnace, A.J. Burness.
Starting in lucky 13 tonight, the number 26, the Tysinger Lawn Care Machine, the Red Machine for Austin Cates. Starting in position number 14 tonight, driving the number 88 Walkertown Mill Car, it's Winston-Salem's Chris Taylor.
Starting in 15th in the number 5 Sponsor One Machine out of Martinsville, Virginia, Jonathan Simerchek. Starting in 16th in the number 42 Tar Heel Septic Car out of Curtisville, North Carolina, Joe Weevil. That completes the grid for the second 20-lapper this evening for the law offices of John Barrow Sportsman Division. Zach Orr and Kenny Boast will get us going. Next time by, lights are off on the modern Chevrolet pace car. Zach Orr, 15 races, 14 top 5 finishes, 6 wins. Most out of anybody here at the stadium this year, and no finish worse than 13th entering this evening. But 46 points from the lead because he missed the first race off of a suspension that extended from the back end of last year. And he set some pretty good runs, the double points races as well. He'll lead us to green and try and claim the second race of the evening in the Sportsman Division as Chris Massey did not get going on the outside. He stacked up everybody there. Brian Sykes Jr. trapped Massey up the racetrack, and we continue to see them battle it out in the middle of the pack.
Zach Orr, nice and comfy, like he's got a pair of fuzzy slippers on and a nice cup of hot cocoa at the front of this field. Kenny Boast right now drifting up high in the racetrack in the third position. Nate Gregg, little tip-tap to the back bumper, accordions him up, and his father almost gets to the rear of his machine as well. Now the rock star up front, Sterling Clemens, last week a victor, now to the backside of Zach Orr.
Two really fast drivers here, Orr and Clemens pacing the way. Kenny Boast trying to hold on as Nate Gregg puts all kinds of pressure on Boast a little bit further back in this group. Now Nate Gregg going to the inside, trying to bring Billy with him and Tommy Neal if they can get underneath Boast, who slides out the racetrack, but not before we have one car spinning Austin Cates around in the middle of the south turn to bring out our first NC811.org caution of the second sportsman race of the night.
I'll tell you what, Austin Cates is he's had a tough go so far early in his sportsman career. car he bought about 5-6 weeks ago, practiced it some in the morning practices, and his first week out with it did not go very well, but he's been making gains on it all the time here in morning practice, trying to get that car dialed in, he and his family getting that machine going. There's the replay. We'll see what happened to the 26. He got a little bit of a shot in the caboose by A.J. Burness, the Furnace. Furnace got a little hot.
We get ready to rock and roll. 4 laps on the board of 20. Orr, Plemons, Nate Gregg, Kenny Boast, Billy Gregg. It's the way they scored it. So they said Nate got around. They said Kenny did not. It'll be, or rather, Billy did not, so it'll be on Billy to get around Kenny as Zach leads us back to green, and we'll see if Sterling Plemons decides to push the issue or if he's happy to ride around in second for a little bit. You've got time in this race if you want to do something.
20 laps is the distance for the second Sportsman race. Chris Massey hard into the wall in turn number 3. That will bring out a caution flag. Big contact for Nasty Massey. Nasty contact to the outside wall.
Makes me wonder, with as slowly as he got started in this race, that there may have been a lingering issue on this car when we got the green flag and it finally all came to a head over on the far side of the racetrack. You see a pretty big scrape there. They're going to have to do a little bit of a paint job on the safer barrier there over by the entrance to the north turn. Wrecker already out on the racetrack to remove Massey's vehicle in whatever way they can. Massey's machine getting set up there. We'll take a look at our Hudson Auto Works replay, figure out what happened to Chris Massey here in the back straightaway. Got a little bit of a shot. Yeah, took a lot of damage there to the right rear and just could not
look at the
hang
rear
on
end.
it.
The rear end is all cattywampus here on the back straightaway.
And then I think finally, and then it snapped the other way, and that's at that point it did it. But rear ends don't move like that. Tires don't move within the wheel well like that unless something is seriously broken, and he broke it when he made the contact with the wall on the exit of turn 4, the north turn here at the Madhouse.
Yeah, it looked like maybe a trailing arm busted or whatever there in the rear end, and that thing just went shot straight into the wall. Let's take a quick break on FloRacing. We'll be back with the rest of this Sportsman feature event.
Got a text regarding this number 55.
Welcome back to historic Bowman Gray Stadium. I'm your host, Matthew Dillner, live on FloRacing. Sportsman race number 2 is underway, and this is the driver who finished 4th in that first event. Right now, he's in 3rd. What a night so far for Nate Gregg, who started out the season the dominant car and then had a little bit of a controversy that the officials had him sit the second race on a week, and that really hurt him in the point standings. But 3 wins thus far, 9 top 5 finishes for Nate Gregg, a very strong year despite missing 1 race. He is actually 3rd in points, even missing that race.
38 markers back, not impossible to make up. Justin Taylor's a little bit buried in this field, currently scored, I believe, 8th on the track as it stands to Gregg's 3rd. So an opportunity to potentially make up points here. And you got a big 100-lapper next week for the law offices of John Bear Sports Division that might play into his hands too.
And 4th place right now, the second place man in points. Billy Gregg. Coming to the green flag, 5 laps on the board. Zach Orr, the 6-time winner, the rock star to the back bumper, the 03 of Sterling Plemons. Plemons and the 55 shoot out to a big lead, but the battle is on for the 5th position. Billy Gregg right now underneath Kenny Boast. Now a battle for the lead. Sterling Plemons looks low. The 55 shuts the door. Now bumper tag coming down the east straightaway. Heading into the north turn. Zach Orr closes the door.
Zach Orr straight up brake check Sterling Plemons in the middle of the south turn last time by. No way to hide that, but he kept that car pointed in the right direction. And brake check again as Kenny Boast has been sent up the racetrack. Billy Gregg is clear. Tommy Neal is clear. Brian Sykes Jr. trying to get clear, as is Justin Taylor, as Zach Orr continues to brake check Sterling Plemons at the head of the field.
Here is the battle for the lead. Going into the north turn, a little bit of a nudge from the Rockstar. A brake check from the 55. The 03 didn't like that much. Now enter the conversation is Nate Gregg. Gregg makes some daylight of his own, nudging the 03 up high. Gregg to the 2nd position.
And he created enough of a gap to where Sterling Plemons couldn't get back to him as they come across cross flags halfway here. Zach Orr with a gap. If you're Nate Gregg, you need to run, because if Sterling Plemons gets back to you, I have no doubt in my mind with the way that he moved Plemons up the racetrack that Nate Gregg will get it right back from the Rockstar.
Wow, some gloves off excitement here in the law offices of John Barrow Sportsman Division. Plemons now with a fast race car. Plemons now down the east straightaway to the back bumper of Nate Gregg. Gregg charges that car hard into the turn, trying to get away. Can he run? Can he hide? No! Here comes Sterling Plemons back to the back bumper yet again.
Plemons, to his great credit, is trying to be as clean as he possibly can with this, but I have a feeling if he wants to win this race, he's not going to have a choice. He's going to have to make the move some way, somehow. At this point, if this goes green, it might just be a battle for second. Zach Orr starting to check out on this group as Nate Gregg continues to try and hang on, and Sterling Plemons eventually is able to work him over and get to that inside line.
There's a reason he wants to be clean. Behind him is his dad, Billy Gregg. Family, plots everywhere at Bowman Gray. Now the 03 slips on by for second place. Now the 55, your leader Zach Orr, has stretched his legs at the front of the field. Can Plemons catch him? Will there be a yellow flag to help him?
No lap traffic save for one car about a straightaway ahead of Zach Orr, and 5 laps left for Orr to try and go chase down a 7th win in this season of the law offices of John Barrow Sportsman Division. But Sterling Plemons is reeling him in. Whether or not he has enough time is the question.
Orr leads it. Plemons in 2nd, 3rd Nate Gregg, 4th Billy Gregg, 5th right now is the 21 of Tommy Neal to the back bumper of Billy Gregg. 6th position for Brian Sykes Jr. 7th is your points leader, Justin Taylor.
Sterling Plemons is gaining as you watch Tommy Neal and Billy Gregg get after it for what would be the 3rd position, but Sterling Plemons is almost there. It's getting tight at the front of the field. We might be in for a classic sportsman finish. Contact in the middle of the corner. Zach Orr was all the way down to the grass to try and defend the lead, and now they're going to catch the lap traffic too.
Here we go. White flag is out. Chris Taylor goes to the bottom. Will he play a role in this one? Plemons now underneath him. Tries to split him 3 wide. Says no to it. Smart move. Now coming around the north turn is the 55. Wins 7 of 2026. Pure domination.
7th heaven for the 55 of Zach Orr, who is now extended his lead as the winningest driver at Bowman Gray Stadium across all divisions in 2026. Only Alfred Hill, Steve Plemons, Jimmy Johnson with a Y, Phillip Hill, Jason Brown, and Ronnie Clifton have won 7 races in a season. And I believe, if my math is right, does that make Zach Orr the 7th driver to win 7 races in a season?
I believe it does.
Oh, goodness gracious. Why not he just drive the 77 and
double
this
down
point?
on the stats,
yeah,
right there.
Exactly.
Top rope there for Justin Mincy with possibly the stat of the year right there. But, hey, this is a driver right here we detailed. You know, coming into this race, he had 15 races. Everybody else had 1 more. That's because Zach Orr started the season under suspension And so he's had to come from a hole in the point standings and enter tonight in the 5th position in point standings with 6 wins. Now leaves tonight with a pretty good night. You know, despite that trouble in the first race, he still finished 8th, respectable. Not the top 5s we're used to seeing from him, but now gets win number 7. Let's toss it down trackside. The colorful Chris Carter is down in victory lane, and he'll have Zach Orr.
Hey, I want to join the crowd. Go ahead. Ah, there you go. Hey, that guy right there shot me a text and he told me we have issues on this hot rod. He said, Chris, I'm trying to coach him up, and by golly, Zach Orr, you got it done. Tell us about it, my friend.
Man, I don't know how we pulled that one out. We got a broke ratchet spring in the rear end. That's the reason we spun out the first race. As soon as you touch the throttle, it wants to spin out. Ryan, he was my eyes in the sky tonight. I needed every bit of him tonight.
Who you want to thank, buddy?
I got to thank all my sponsors, Cardinal Plumbing, Jerry Johnson Motors, CTC Realty, Brick, Tar Heel Septic. Everybody helps us. Quality, DWR, Doug Patton, everybody.
Yo, one more time, let me hear you, Zach Orr!
Well, we've seen somebody sign a baby's forehead, but Zach Orr just signed Chris Carter's forehead. You never know what you're going to see at Bowman Gray Stadium. You never know what you're going to see next. Top Gun extending his Top Gun lead with his 7th, not 6th, but now his 7th win. Now Zach Orr. Let's go to break. Come back with the Ground Pounders, the NASCAR Modifieds.
To announce the winner of the Trace Adkins tickets. The number is on the back of your souvenir program. If you have lucky number 74841, take your souvenir program over to the souvenir sales station at the red van to Southgate near the flagpole, and Curtis will get information from you, and you will be the winner of 2 tickets to see Trace Adkins with special guest Terry Tippett on Friday night, August the 14th. Once again, that number, 74841.
Second twin 25 for the Modifieds has hit the track. Let's give you the starting lineup live here on FloRacing. Starting on the pole, the legendary garage number 44, Richard Petty's favorite driver, Daniel Daniel Beeson to the outside, the rookie competitor in the Greensboro Grasshoppers machine, the 82 of Mason Lawson.
Starting in third out of Walnut Cove, North Carolina, and the Ben Gable Enterprises, number 6, Slate Myers. Starting in fourth out of King, North Carolina, and the number 9, Carolina Cat Reynolds machine, Kyle Southern.
Starting fifth, it's the Citrus State Pro, number 15 for Ryan Skip Flores. To the outside, the AR Roofing, number 12 for Dean Ward.
Starting in seventh out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, and the number 99 Taylor Auto Parts machine, it's Jordan Fleming. Starting in eighth out of Lexington, North Carolina, and the Lawrence Legacy LLC, number 14, Trey Hutchins.
Starting in ninth, the Triad Chimney Sweep, number 51, the Snowman Junior Snow. To the outside, the Choice Tire and Automotive, number 4 for the working man, Jason Myers.
Starting at 11th of the Mount Airy, North Carolina, driven Taylor Auto Parts, number 16, it's the Showstopper, Chris Fleming. Starting in 12th in the 07 Best Bet Auto Finish machine out of Walkertown, North Carolina, the real deal, Riley Neal.
Starting 13th tonight, the winningest driver at Bowman Gray Stadium history, the Jerry Hunt Supercenter, 83 for the Rocket, Tim Brown. Starting alongside the winner of the first race at Citrus Safe, number 1 for the ace, Burt Meyer.
Starting in 15th out of Statesville, North Carolina, and the Colors Edge, number 92, Brody Jones. Starting in 16th out of Monroe, North Carolina, and the El Padrino Map Music car, the Double Sear, the Flying Taco, Danny Probst. Jackson Casper, Ethan Truel, Lonnie Oakley, Randy Butner, Gerald Robinson Jr., Lee Jeffries, Corey LeMay, and Shannon McGlamory. The 24 cars that are going to start this race.
Little side note before we go green, Lee Jeffries will start this race in the number 77, Randy Butner in the 35. They start towards the rear of this field. These are the drivers that live by the grace of God and 600 horsepower. And since the beginning, in 1949, they've thrilled the fans. Twin 25, lap number 2 is green.
Race number 2, lap number 1, Daniel Beeson to the point. Slate Myers immediately making moves. And how about Skip Flores making a run on the inside, trying to make a big hole underneath Dean Ward and Mason Lawson.
Big time contact, nerve bar to nerve bar, physical racing. The 15 gets by for third. Now underneath the Steelman Hardware, number 9 of Kyle Southern. Trouble for Mason Lawson. He slows up a bit on the outside. Jordan Fleming skips on by. Here comes the Snowman making his march. And now behind Lawson, the 16 and the 14. Side by side, it's Chris Fleming and Trey Hutchins.
Battles everywhere. Skip Flores got loose on the exit of the north turn. Kyle Southern moved up to third. You've got Slate Myers putting pressure on Daniel Beeson. You've got this absolute mess in the middle of the field. You see Kyle Southern sort of leading this pack as it stands as Beeson, for the moment, is able to hang out in front of Slate Myers. Keeping an eye on how this battle for the lead shapes up. Slate with the first bumper tap to Daniel Beeson as it stands. Kyle Southern in third. Steelman's Ace Hardware trying to run both of them down. Flores was in third. Lawson in the middle of the corner. Goes up to fourth. How about Jordan Fleming sitting in the fifth spot? Junior Snow currently in sixth.
Well, there is the battle for the lead. Everything is single file now. Everything is single file. 20 laps to go. Here comes Slate Myers to the back bumper of Daniel Beeson. Beeson has been racing here for years. He is looking for his first ever modified division win. For so long, he's come here as a competitor. Now this year, finding some speed each time that he's been here. Legendary Garage on board. The Mighty Mouse on the hood. The King Richard Petty watching live on FloRacing. Couldn't get any better than seeing that 44 race victory lane again with the famed Petty Blue.
Big shot there from Slate Myers. Last time line that opened up a gap to Daniel Beeson. I think here it comes. There's the shot. Oh, what about Kyle Southern, who I think threw a wrench into Slate Myers' plans. He was going to give the old chrome horn to Beeson, and then Southern gave the chrome horn to Slate. Slate couldn't complete the pass.
Wow, that was something else there. The number 44 gets the shot again. Slate Myers into the back guy beam bumper. Now things get haywire. Myers goes to the outside. Now he closes the door. Southern into him in the north turn. A stack up. in the grass, sideways. The Beeson car hangs on to the lead. Slayton second and Southern in third.
That was the most insane accordion effect I think I've ever seen in Bowman Gray. The entire top 10 backed up behind all the games and all the cat and mousery that was going on between Kyle Southern and Slate Myers. And Daniel Beeson got a little bit of breathing room out of that. And they're going to come to the halfway marker. And Beeson will have led every lap so far, but can he bring it home and finally make it to Carolina Woodfloor's victory lane?
Jonathan Beeson in the number 44. Daniel Beeson. Did I do it again? It's Beeson. Hey, listen, we are at Bowman Gray, and right now it's Beeson season of another kind. Jonathan Beeson, your season's in Tulsa in January. This is Daniel Beeson season here, and tonight, right now, he's got the lead. He's looking for his first ever win at the stadium.
Kyle Southern is Daniel Beeson's best friend, no doubt about it. Slate Myers is a faster car, but if Kyle Southern can continue to put pressure on Slate Myers, those two getting after it might be enough to keep Daniel Beeson out in front of this race. Slate continuing to reel Beeson in, lap on lap on lap. Skip Flores has managed to tail on to the rear of Kyle Southern's machine. He's not far out of this either, as Slate Myers beginning to send it in deep on every corner to try and get to the rear bumper of Beeson and send him up the racetrack too.
Slayton Myers has really come into his own this year. Last year he had some speed. He showed some maybe, young racer type aggression, not as controlled as he has so far this year. Now look at the power in that number 44 machine. Piloting that car off of turn number 4. A lot of power put down by that Koger Plumbing machine, and he is pacing this field, coming to 5 to go. Can Beeson do it?
Daniel Beeson has led every lap of this race so far. He's changed his line a little bit. You got a very shallow entry for Slate Myers. He's just trying to catch him as he goes into the corner. Beeson arcing in a little bit more and getting a little bit more speed through the center and on exit. Is that enough to provide enough defense to get him into victory lane?
Well, he did a good job there of racing defensively when Myers got to his back I-beam bumper the last time. Can Myers catch him, though? He might be able to catch him, but can he get around him? That's the question. Myers' car starting to come in right now, but the drive, the power off the corner for that 44 has been immense.
Daniel Beeson with a big opportunity here, lap 23 up on the board, trying to get the job done and land it in victory lane. The driver out of Kernersville, North Carolina for Legendary Garage, M&M Transport, and Smart Chevrolet. Going to have 2 laps now, 1 lap to go for Daniel Beeson.
When drivers around here go to bed and rest their head on the pillow, they dream of gripping that checkered flag. And tonight, in his 174th start, it's Beeson season! Ow! Daniel Beeson does it! He's a winner in the modified ranks at Bowman Gray Stadium. Petty Blue returns to glory at ye old madhouse.
Daniel Beeson becomes the 146th driver to win a race in the feature division at Bowman Gray Stadium. Beeson season indeed. And this is, I think, going to be a really fun celebration. Very few things match the enthusiasm of a first-time winner at Bowman Gray Stadium, especially in the Brass Golf Cart Modifieds.
Oh, this is going to be something. He told me a few weeks ago that the King has a FloRacing subscription just for watching him race this modified. And, of course, they are very heavily involved with the Legendary Garage, the Petty Garage, up in Randleman, North Carolina. And right now he's going to take the victory lap, the famed victory lap. Here's a guy who a few years ago, I remember watching him trying to unload his car by himself, working his tail off here in the hot sun, and it even came loose, and it actually ran him over, and he was battered and bruised, and he powered through it to race. This guy is a pure racer, and to see him, after all these years, get this win, this is absolutely insane. The Petty Blue machine entering victory lane for the first time here at the stadium since August 28th, 1970. Wow. Let's go down trackside to Chris Carter. Daniel Beeson is the winner.
in memory of Zach Brewer. What a great win for the number 44 of Daniel Beeson as he unstrapped. And I'm going to say it again, race fans. Y'all help me out. Let him hear ya, Daniel Beeson! Daniel, this is a big deal to me. I know it is to you. I'm so happy to be here with you for your first win, man. Tell us about it, because early in the race, there's a cadaggle of y'all right there coming off of 2. Tell us about your win, buddy.
Yeah, well, it actually started in the first race. The car got tore up. We worked till the time we pulled out here fixing the cars. I can't thank the guys enough. But, yeah, it was a little bit of a handful there at the beginning. I appreciate Slate running me clean. About 20 years to be overnight success over here. Let me thank my sponsors. Koger Plumbing, they do a lot for us. We appreciate them. Legendary Engine Development. My Uncle Richard Phillips not here. Brian Spotton, Lee, Dad, the wife, everybody that helps. Man, I appreciate it. I was going to do a lap backwards for Puddin' Swisher, but we didn't get to.
I tell you what, race fans, usually when I'm up here talking to these drivers, they're sweating, they're shaking. You're a cool hand Luke, buddy. So proud for you, man. Way to go.
Yeah, one more thing. I want to thank God. Couldn't do it without him. Praise the Lord.
One more time. Let him hear you.
Wow. First-time winners are awesome. Guess what's going to be a first? First time tonight that we see the Street Stalkers, and they're up next on FloRacing.
In the modified division or any series here at the Madhouse. Congratulations, Daniel Beeson. Here's your starting lineup for the 20-lap event for the QRC HVAC and Refrigeration Street Stock Series. They greet for their starting positions. 21 cars will be on this on their scheduled early off. Starting 21st, the shotgun on the field. Car number 98 for Rockwell, North Carolina's Jacob Cordell. Starting 20, the top 5 for Car number 7 from Lexington is Tyler Staley. Starting 19, the North Car Grill. Motorsports are made and sold by Randy Wilson. Car number 10 from Winston-Salem is Craig Hartless. Starting 18th, in the garage doors on the Triad, the Dispensary Alternative Care Center. Car number 13 from Foxville is the K-Train and Kevin Gilbert. Starting 17th, in the Clifton Plumbing, 5 Points Tire and Auburn, Danielle DeAngelis Family Law. He was a winner last Saturday night for Lexington. Car number 72 of Brian Robertson. Starting 16th in the Hills Outdoor.
This isn't just a normal race.
It's grueling, it's hot, it takes everything to win.
There are no guarantees, no second chances.
Nothing out here will test you more than this race.
The fire, the flames, the heat.
When the checkered flag falls, only one of us will be happy.
Give everything,
leave nothing. I want to win this race more than anyone else.
It just means more. This is America's hottest race.
This is the Hampton Heat.
The Hampton Heat, that's going to be a good one next week. And also you can get your butt here to Bowman Gray Stadium for a Saturday night of racing. Got a lot of racing for you on FloRacing every weekday, every weekend. Heck, Sundays even, Slinger Speedway. I mean, Lions, Tigers, and Bears, oh my, dude. You got, if you like racing, this is the place to be here on FloRacing. Let's get you set for this. The Street Stocks, 20 laps for them tonight, starting on the pole. The David Subner Septic number 1. It's Christian Joyce to the outside. The Proud American Beverage 19 for T.J. Whaley.
Starting in third out of Clemens, North Carolina, and the Kogar Plumbing number 30. It's Zach Kogar. Starting in fourth out of Lexington, North Carolina, and the Crazy Joe's Outlet Machine. The number 8, Braden Staley.
Starting fifth tonight in the Gary Odell Grading number 9, it's Brandon Brown. And the Avery Collision 35 for Andy Avery on the outside.
Starting in seventh out of Louisville, North Carolina, on the right, Engine Works Machine, the number 21 of West Glasgow. Starting in eighth out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and the Ceramic Pro number 68, Emily Lewis.
Starting ninth, the top rookie of the division, the number 5 Carter Insulation Car for Connor Keaton to the outside. The Concrete Slabs USA number 88 for Brian Shue.
Starting at 11th, the 47 machine out of Pilot Mountain, North Carolina, piloted by Victor Flores. And starting in 12th in the 00 Mule Skidder Trucking Car out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, it's the Moose, Donnie Martin.
Starting in lucky position 13 tonight, the number 16 Right Choice Plumbing point leader machine for Brad Lewis. On the outside, the 44 GAF roofing machine for Owen Pendry.
Starting in 15th, the number 4 Just Chillin' Lawn Care machine, it's Joey Baker. Starting in 16th at the 37 Todd's Tire Car out of Lexington, North Carolina, Matt Prevett.
Starting in 17th last week, a winner. Turn and Burn Hobbies, number 72 for Bryant Robertson. To the outside, the K-Train and the garage doors of the Triad 13. It's Kevin Gilbert.
Starting in 19th in the number 10 Bullies machine out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, it's Kendall Craig Heartless. And starting in 20th in the Duke's Tavern, number 7 out of Lexington, North Carolina, Kyler Staley. The last machine on the grid here for the first race, the QHC HVAC and Refrigeration Street Stock Series belongs to the number 98, a winner earlier this season, racing out of Rockwell, North Carolina for the legendary garage. It's Jaden Cordell.
Jaden Cordell, a winner so far this season, young rookie competitor. Great to see the success that he has had. Your points champion 2 years in a row, but not last year, is the driver of the number 1, Christian Joyce, who moved into the runner-up spot in points last week. The only driver in the top 5 in points to gain on points leader Brad Lewis last week on double points night. So some big momentum for the driver in that number 1 machine, who starts from the point tonight with a veteran to his outside, service veteran. That is TJ Whaley, and Whaley's nose ripped up. Mayhem on the start of this one. Sheet metal flying everywhere. Can opener to the side of the car. Now a car stopped on the back straightaway. All sorts of mayhem. Koger spins to the infield to avoid.
Everything happening everywhere all at once to start off the crazy race for the QRC HVAC and Refrigeration Street Stock Series.
Great move by that 30, though, of Koger to avoid that. Oh, my gosh. That could have been really, really bad.
Could have been way worse. That Donnie Martin that's parked up against the fence on the back straightaway. You see the piece off of Wes Glasgow's machine. Squeaky Brown's already got his hands on that to get that off the racetrack.
Oh, Squeaky, man. You know, last week the heat got him. But he recovered nicely. Yeah, he's got a little souvenir right there from TJ Whaley, the Proud American beverage car. And there's TJ's. Man, we can see right inside that car. There is Whaley's number 19 being walked off the track now.
The smiley face there is fabulous.
Oh, man. TJ, new dad, just had their little girl not that long ago. Did TJ Whaley. I ran into him at the rodeo there, and actually a little I think it was actually, no, a little boy. I got it messed up. Beckett. I got messed up with Grayson Lee, who had a little girl in the stadium stocks last week.
You see the side of this car. The good news, well, I don't know if it's good news because you got that flapping piece there on the left rear. So the question is whether or not they are going to make him.
Christian Joyce, your leader, is off the track.
Yes.
Your leader, Christian Joyce, pulled off.
Just snuck off.
Wow. So new race leader, the shredded number 19 of TJ Whaley, and the guy we detailed going into this one, moving to the runner-up spot in points, your second place points man, is now behind the field house. Trouble for Christian Joyce.
And now the question is whether or not Whaley is going to be able to compete with that flapping quarter panel off the left rear. We've seen drivers be forced to come down and pull parts like that off in the past. So that's right on the edge of potentially being a concern from a safety perspective. It'll be interesting to see how that gets ruled.
Big shout out as I slurp a S&P lemonade to Seth. Where's Seth tonight? Isn't he like in the Bahamas or something? Hilton Head. Okay, close. He's in Hilton Head enjoying himself probably a different type of fruity beverage.
Trying to get S&P lemonade at the Salty Dog Cafe for all the kids. That's what I think he's trying to do.
Yeah, he is tuning in, though. You got to love that Seth is tuning in from vacation, and he's got all of his people hawking lemonades here throughout the grandstands while he's got his feet up drinking an umbrella drink. There's the Citrus Safe Mule turning some fast laps there under caution. TJ Whaley, your winner. Your leader, excuse me, with the shredded can opener on the left side of that car.
Did you learn the number 1 rule from the Home Run Derby and from the
What's that?
News About a Basketball Player?
I didn't watch it. I was at Slinger.
Don't leak the script. Matt.
Oh, there ain't no script in racing. Oh, let's look at this replay and see what the heck happened here. I think Donnie Moose Martin was stopped already up in the corner.
Right.
And just wasn't seen. That sheet metal caused a ruckus. And then they all come up to a yellow flag's out, and they're like, oh, boy, let's avoid it. Zach Coker goes to the grass.
Christian
Baby
Joyce.
boy Braden Staley also did a good job there, the number 8 car.
Worth noting, Christian Joyce is not just rejoined the racetrack.
Oh, he
just got back out.
Good to see Joey Baker in the field, also rejoining the racetrack, a longtime crew member. The number 16 car, the whole family there of Brad Lewis.
And there's a black flag out for TJ Whaley, so that's gonna be for that left rear quarter panel that's flapping. We've seen that a few times before in this season and in prior seasons.
So he just got the black flag, apparently, and that means he's going to have to get off the racetrack, or he's going to, got 3 laps or so before.
Well, not just get off the racetrack, but he's going to have to deal with that quarter panel somehow. So
yeah, they can have somebody just rip the dang thing off as soon as he gets in there. He's going to lose all that track position, which is the biggest tragedy for him.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, I mean, you got some muscles. You don't take much muscles, too, to rip off that dang thing right there. It's held on by
muscles. That's a terrible combination.
I'm not going to like it. I didn't say it.
We don't. I just tone. I don't build.
It would be like calling me skinny. So let's look at another look here on the Hudson Auto Works replay and see how that door gets shredded off here. He gets sideways on the throttle and just shazam.
It's like it caught the tire. I don't even think he made contact with Koger. I think it just one piece immediately just sort of ripped all three. Just with the way the rivets are put together.
It looked like one of those jumpsuits like the people wear, and they just in one felt swoop just pulls it off and the whole thing comes off.
Mm-hmm.
I think a little bit of wind hit the sheet metal and it just ripped off the car.
1 to go from the flag stand, so the modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle will pull into its place in the north turn next time by. Keep an eye on whether or not TJ Whaley will be able to rejoin this race before, and he is back out on the racetrack. So all cars, I believe, save for Moose Martin, I think, are accounted for. Just looking around here. So we'll get back to it. 1 lap on the board. Zach Koger and Braden Staley to lead us to green flag racing here, the QRC HVAC and Refrigeration Street Stock Series at the Madhouse. Off they go again. Great jump there for Koger. Not as good for Staley. We'll see whether or not Brandon Brown, Andy Avery, and company might be able to make some moves. Oh, Andy Avery just lost it all by himself. Did a 360 spin, caught it, saved it. We'll get going again. We say green. Oh, we almost say green flag racing, and they threw the NC811.org caution just as he was starting to go again. A lot happening there in that lap and a half, if that, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's been a wild one. You look at our top 6 competitors right now, and it was top 7 competitors until Andy Avery just spun. But our top 6 competitors right now have never won in the street stock division. So you've got a bunch of hungry drivers out there that want to chomp down and get this victory. We've seen some mayhem so far in this division throughout the 2026 season. One of the most improved drivers of it, though, is on the front row. The number 30 car of Zach Koger. Koger, the racing plumber, will lead them to green. Baby boy Braden Staley, second place for that Staley number 8 machine. Brandon Brown in 3rd position. That's the battle on the track for second right now. But we've got a spinner. Victor Flores has gone around, bringing out the caution once again. Yes, the caution is out. Womp, womp, womp.
A little bit premature, but you hit the nail on the end. So the crystal ball for Matthew Dillner, alive and well, as Flores is still stopped just at the exit of the north turn, sort of in the Cup restart zone when they ran the clash here in February, and it went from cold to rain to cold to wet tire to dry tire to everywhere. I never, ever have seen a race here where the fence is the fastest way to get around, Matthew. But here we
and
are.
You see the number 1 there stopped. Your second place points man, Christian Joyce, is stopped once again. It's been a mess. Oh, he's done. The helmet is off The number 1 is done. It looks like the rear end of that car is kind of dropped down, and Christian Joyce will climb from that machine, the Hot Rod Barn hero, just when you thought the luck turned around and he's been climbing in the standings. Now trouble for Joyce, the 2-time champion of the street stock division.
42 points out of the lead coming into this evening, and my eyes immediately turn to the drivers that are scored in 5th and 6th, because that's Brad Lewis and Connor Keaton. Keaton currently ahead of Lewis, but Lewis up 48 markers on Keaton entering the night, so Keaton now with an opportunity to potentially and probably take over second in the standings, depending on how this goes.
Yeah, it could. You know, this division has not raced like it normally does this year. Let's just be honest. Let's just rip off the Band-Aid, folks. And I know it's been addressed with these drivers, but we've had 9 races so far in the street stock division, and we've hit the time limit and ended early 5 times out of those 9 that we have not gone the full distance. Let's take a quick break on FloRacing as they tow off the number 1 car. We'll be back at the Madhouse. We are back for night 1139, also known as Taylor Hodges' birthday. She works here at Bowman Gray Stadium as one of the key people in the ticketing group here at Bowman Gray Stadium. And look at all the people that bought tickets tonight, whether they bought them online in advance or they walked up here to the beautiful East Gate with the shade, big trees, and, you know, the beautiful walk into Bowman Gray Stadium. This place is pretty darn packed.
Talk about the Eastgate, yeah, reminds us that I think we're going to be due for a meetup over there in August, are we not?
You just broke news because I wasn't planning on it, but I guess we're going to do it. Hey, there you go.
Tradition, right?
This is a place I skipped it last year because I was super busy, buddy. But, hey, we might do it. We might bring it back, the little fan meetup with some drivers. Let's bring it back. Let's roll it on back here in August.
I'll come say hi to you fans, if nothing else.
Now we're getting thousands of people there.
And no, we're not. We're getting 2 people.
3 laps on the board. Zach Koger, the racing plumber, on the point for this green flag restart. Baby boy Braden Staley in the 2nd position, but he's got a bumper full of Brandon Brown now. Wes Glasgow having a good run there, quietly in the 4th position. Quietly, well, there's only been 3 laps on the board, but now he's not being quiet. To the back bumper he goes to the number 9.
Keep an eye on one car that got spun in the back that has continued to go, so we'll stay green flag racing. We'll turn our eyes to the battle between Braden Staley and Brandon Brown and Wes Glasgow, and then Connor Keaton and Brad Lewis. But the yellow flag is out. We've got one car that spun around.
Joey Baker. Womp, womp, womp. Just when things were going to get good, I was keeping an eye on Connor Keaton, the black number 5.
Mm-hmm. We were going to have a pretty good battle, I think, between really that whole stretch of Brandon Brown and Wes Glasgow, Keaton, Brad Lewis, Kevin Gilbert, Brian Robertson. Like that's a massive chunk of talent in the street stock division, all lined up, pretty much nose to tail amongst that group. And that's from the 3rd position on back to like 8th. So you see the field coming around as they have stopped Joey Baker's machine at the entrance to the north turn. Letting the field get reset behind the pace vehicle for Modern Chevrolet. 5 laps are on the board in this 20-lap street stock race. There are 1 race of this evening. We also have a second stadium stock race, the Demolition Derby. Still
Demo Derby.
to go.
My kid is looking forward to that. Hudson, he's sitting right behind me. But there is the Carter Insulation number 5 machine. Magic Pool and Spas on it. The rookie competitor, one of the great rookies here in this division and at Bowman Gray Stadium overall this year. And the number 5 has had quite a season so far. He's finished all of his races, his 9 races in the top 5, in the top 10, the driver, that number 5. But look who's behind him right now. That's your points leader, the number 16, the guy that the number 5 has been chasing. Everybody has been chasing that black and green number 16 all season long at Bowman Gray Stadium. The 5 looking for his first win. A bunch of guys, the top 5 cars, all looking for their first win as we go back to green. 5 laps on the board. The Racing Plumber leads them to the line. Can he get his first? We'll see.
Good jump there. Brayton Staley just gotten a little bit loose, trying to get back to the gas every time he stepped on it. The car just seems loose in general, and Brandon Brown is just putting all kinds of pressure on Staley, who will go up the racetrack. Does that create the room for Brandon Brown to get underneath potentially? More contact in the south turn. Staley hanging on for the moment. Brown looking for a window to the inside, but nothing particularly there yet as Brown continues to peek the nose underneath Staley. Now Staley goes at the racetrack. Brown to second. Wes Glasgow to third, and Connor Keaton now will have the opportunity to go get fourth.
Great battle. Glasgow now washes up high with an attempt to the back bumper of the number 9 car. Who likes this the most? That is Zach Koger up at the front of this one. Now Glasgow gathers it back up, further back, the 16 car getting daylight underneath the number 5 of Keaton. That's the big battle on the track right now. Here comes the 16 of Brad Lewis.
Brad Lewis trying to get underneath Connor Keaton. Connor Keaton trying to keep it wound up on the outside for all he's got. He cannot lose ground to Brad Lewis in the championship fight. He's got to fight him as hard as he can on the outside, which is about as difficult as it gets at Bowman Gray. He's still there for the moment as we hit cross flag. Zach Koger clear by about half a straightaway, and Brad Lewis now working to the inside properly of Keaton. And Keaton's got to be careful because K-Train, Kevin Gilbert, is right there, as is Brian Robertson, as is Kendall Craig Hartless. All 3 of them kicking around Keaton if he can't get back down to the bottom.
The bottom rules the way here at Ye Old Madhouse, and right now that has really thwarted the progress of the number 5, and you see Robertson doing a heck of a job there saving that race car. Now gets back to the bottom of Keaton. 11 laps on the board, now 12 laps on the board. The battle is side by side between last week's winner Robertson on the bottom, Bryant Robertson, and the 5 of Connor Keaton. Here comes Kendall Craig Hartless, and the number 10 filling the hole down the east straightaway.
Trouble a little bit further back. TJ Whaley is spun around, and we are going to get another NC811.org caution flag as Whaley had to go backwards to get the car to go forwards. And that will bunch everybody up once again.
That is not what Zach Koger wanted to see.
No.
That dude was up front stretching his legs and just having him a sip here at the front of this drink and just loving life. And that yellow flag came out, and I bet you he just went, darn it, inside that race car.
You know who's excited for the Demo Derby a little bit later?
Who?
You called it a little bit. But
Hudson.
You said Demo Derby, and Hudson just sort of looked my way, and he gave an old Cheshire cat grin. He's ready for some of the action.
He's 10 years old, okay? And if you're 10 and you say, okay, let's go to the races. Heck yeah, let's go, Dad. If you say, hey, those races are going to have monster trucks. Yeah, oh, man, that's awesome. Those races are also going to have a Demo Derby at the end. Whoa. Yeah, that's what you want to go see.
It's like the Vince McMahon meme where he just gets redder and redder every time. that's exactly what that is. Lights are already going to go out here on the modern Chevrolet pace vehicle. 1 lap to go when we get back to it.
Fill them with sugar. Let them have a good time. Let's see some crashing. Let's see some bashing. Let's see some great racing. That's why you have 15,000 people here at Bowman Gray Stadium on a Saturday night. Let's go.
I like it. Hudson, you had a good time? You liking it? Having a good time so far?
Yeah.
Well, is that all you're going to say? What's the best part about Bowman Gray real quick?
Like you mean my favorite division?
Sure.
Modifieds probably.
That's my boy.
Modifieds
He's a Dillner.
Modifieds
confirmed.
Mainly.
Modifieds mainly. Shout out Ryan Priest. Here we go. Green flag is back out. Zach Koger in the lead. I know we're getting close, inching close to the time limit once again. Koger stretching that lead. Glasgow now up to the 3rd position. Staley back to the 4th position. Brad Lewis up to 5th, your points leader.
Koger in control of this. Brandon Brown maybe saving a little bit for this. Brad Lewis continuing to charge up the leaderboard, now putting pressure on Braden Staley for the 4th position. Now to the inside of Staley, who is steering that car with the rear and the throttle about as much as he is the steering wheel. Lewis looking for an opportunity inside, but nothing there yet.
Brad Lewis tiptoeing around that Staley machine. They've had a history between those two families. Yellow flag is out yet again. This time it's in the turn, and I can't tell who it is. I know Pendry is involved in the number 44, and it's Shoop in the number 88, as well as Bryant Robertson and the number 7 car as well. Oh boy, a lot of cars involved.
Everybody all over the place here is waiting for a moment to get the car turned around.
Great to see Kyler Staley back behind the wheel of that machine, and there he is climbing out of his car, super dejected, and now he's telling his brother, go get him.
Trying to get a good look at the damage here. It looks like from our vantage point that, is it the left front that's down just a tad, perhaps, compared to the rest of the vehicle?
I just hated the fact that he's been out of the seat. Because Kyler Staley is a good little race car driver, man. You know, his dad got all the headlines here for quite a few years for some pretty wild reasons. But I'll tell you what, that kid's kind of cool as a cucumber, and sometimes that's what you want to see behind the wheel of a race car, is a guy that just doesn't get that hyped up. Take a look at the Hudson Auto Works replay as Kyler Staley walks off the lonely walk back to the pit area, and there is Pendry on the bottom getting into Shoop, and Shoop spins that number 88, and good job by Matt Prevette there to avoid it, as well as Kyler Staley, and then the Joey Baker machine as well.
That was a half Shoop-de-loop.
The Shoop-de-doop.
A half. Didn't go all the way around as Staley continues to make the walk. Our Sister Save Services track crew going to have to get Staley's car towed, and then we'll see. I imagine at this point, Matthew, we're probably looking at one restart before we hit the time limit. I would think.
Yeah, I mean we're dangerously close to it right now. The time limit, like I said, you know, we've seen it too many times here before. There is your points leader, the number 16 machine of Brad Lewis, who's had himself one heck of a season so far. Has Brad Lewis, 9 races, 3 wins, 6 finishes on the podium. Okay, all of them in the top 10, all but one in the top 5. That is purely an amazing night. Hey, I just got a hat. I love when you get gifts. We get little donuts. We get S&P lemonades. Man, we got the Win Cup Zone hat right here. That's pretty darn cool. I love the Winston Red right there. We appreciate you guys for being involved in Bowman Gray Stadium and all sorts of short track racing ventures, the Smart Modified Tour as well, live on FloRacing. But just really cool. Their museum up the road. You ever see the Nash Museum up there? It used to be the Win Cup Museum.
Yes.
Just some really cool Winston-Salem and automotive and racing history. It's just, yeah. I mean, yep. I mean, just awesome. I love Nash cars. I love Hudson's. Obviously, my kid's named Hudson too. So, but yeah, Brad Lewis right there, the points leader, the number 16 machine, and thank you, Will, for being up here. And I'll have to wear this hat on the way home.
Pretty slick machine here, and pretty good setup that they got going on. Is
the Nash car that's in front. There's the double hook. Okay, folks, I got distracted. I saw a squirrel. It's okay. But I love tow trucks. Hudson and I got to sit in Old Blue today, the famed old tow truck here sitting in the pit area. But that right there, kiddies, what you see right there is tow truck glory. That's hard to do. The double hook, you hook them up from the back, you hook them up from the front, and it's poetry in motion. And people take that for granted. The guy going forward with the front of the car has to take it nice and steady. And then the guy going in reverse has to drive backwards, steer the car, tow truck properly. But you don't want to stretch out the cables there because you could damage the car, drop the car. That cradle type situation, as it's called it's a pretty unique technique.
Tough, I think, especially when you have to consider the sort of the jackknifing you have to avoid too. There, as we get a good look here, and this is where the damage came, right there. Just clipped the rear end of Ryan Robertson, and the rear end damage for Staley. You can see immediately how the rear axle and the rear housing there is all over the place.
Brian Robertson, 2 times the winner this year, of course, won the Street Stock 50. As well as last week's race. The big man, owner of Turn and Burn Hobbies in Midway, a great place to introduce your kid to racing in the cheapest way possible, which is RC car racing, maybe before bringing them to the Madhouse here.
Here we go.
I think we're going to have a green-white checker here with 2 to go, says Justin Mincy. Thanks to Justin Mincy, by the way. Ryan Gavel on the back bench doing a great job tonight, Lucas and everybody involved, Charlotte, but Justin Mincy doesn't get enough credit here. He's the unofficial historian of Bowman Gray Stadium. Someday he'll be official, but he's official to us and a valuable part of our team that we have a great friendship and bond with, and that's the most important part, more than checkered flags and statistics and whiteboard fun.
The best kind of ships are friendships.
Oh boy, that's a good one right there. The guy that looks like he's got a speedboat tonight against a bunch of rowboats, that's the driver leading the field to green.
Zach Koger trying to stretch it out on Brandon Brown. Wes Glasgow there. Brad Lewis already looking to the inside of Braden Staley. They will come around this time and get the white flag. One more lap for Zach Koger.
One more trip around the famed quarter mile. This driver starting in street stocks. He's fought his way from the bottom, and now he's on top. The racing plumber, Zach Koger, is a winner at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Zach Koger finds his way through this slime to land his first career win in his 51st career start. He becomes the 123rd different driver in Madhouse history to win a street stock race.
You know, there's baby boy Braden Staley's car in a plume of smoke on the back straightaway. He looks pretty hot, and it might not just be temper. He might be hot just getting out of that race car. Great to see that he is okay. But the big story right now, as he waves to the crowd, is on the other side, and it's the driver gripping the stitched Bowman Gray Stadium checkered flag. This is a guy who, you know, started here pretty rough. He was having a hard time just racing around here. He was struggling. I seen him wreck one time in morning practice, and the improvement that he has had has just been absolutely amazing. And this is a guy who, you know, his family, his father, his twin brother, they're plumbers by trade, Koger Plumbing. And they service a lot of people. They help a lot of people in our racing community, not just by being on his own race car, but there's a reason he's doing the donuts over there, by the way. His son, Zachary, 10 years old, his daughter, Adeline, are sitting right there against the fence. And I could see them right there, cheering along with their mom, Tiffany, the family celebrating their first ever win at the Madhouse. At the end of every race, we detailed this around Father's Day weekend, he pulls his car before he pulls off, and he does rock, paper, scissors with his kid over there, you know, with his kids. Tonight, no rock, paper, scissors, burnouts. This is a memory that his kids will have forever.
He did a pretty good burnout over in turn 3 as well. There's a smoke cloud where his car was that is very slowly wafting up towards the sky, but it's pretty good evidence that Zach Koger knew what he was ready to do, knew he was set to burn it down, and knew that he was destined for a trip to Carolina Wood Floors Victory Lane. So while Koger gets ready to celebrate, we will take the opportunity to toss it down to one of the voices here at Bowman Gray Stadium on the PA, Mr. Randy Pulliam.
Zach Koger. Zach. What a win. First career win. my announce partner, Chris Carter, asked me if I would give you a great big old bear hug. He said he appreciates you for all you do in his podcast. Congratulations. What a week for you. You got your Coger Plumbing voted best plumbing service. You've had a great week, haven't you?
Absolutely. First, I got to thank the good Lord above. Then I got to thank my beautiful wife and kids. They sacrifice so much for me to be able to do this every week. Hedgecock Racing, Daniel Beeson, Legendary Garage, they've been so helpful this year. I got to thank all my sponsors. Coger Plumbing, Fairwinds Animal Stay, Polson's Lawn Maintenance, Sophie K with Dash Carolina, Paris Tire, Atlas Firearms, J&M Septic, Revolution Flooring, Lifestar Emergency Services, Parkway Ford, sorry, there's a lot. Ward Construction, Stop Restoration, Amy Tar Mortgage Lender, Mi Casa Mexican Restaurant! Woo!
Zach, you need to apologize for a long list of sponsors. Couldn't do it without you.
How about Mi Casa getting the big shout out there? But great, he mentioned Mi Casa is Su Casa, and he mentioned Daniel Beeson. That's because Daniel Beeson's been helping him set up this car, and it's really paid dividends. First time winner at Bowman Gray Stadium, Zach Coger. Hey, stay tuned. Stadium stocks are up next. The Buzz Bombers, then a Demo Derby. Woo!
Stadium Stock Series. Thank you, Randy Pulliam. I'm pretty sure, I know for a fact, that is probably the most that Zachary Coger has ever talked into a microphone in his life. Once again, way to go, Zach. Proud of you, buddy. Second Stadium Stock race. Your lineup starts right there. Starting 14th to number 28, Robert Mabe. Starting 13th to number 10 is J.B. Lineberry. Starting 12th to number 55 is Robert Warren Jr. Starting 11th to number 5, Andre Chavez. Number 10, starting 10th, excuse me, number 66 is Tim Geeson. Starting 9th to number 52. We do not have a name for that driver. Starting 8th. Number 14 of Brandon Braun, starting 7th. To number 4, Andrew Sanders, starting 6th. To number 27, Tony Lavington, starting 5th. Number 83 of Michael Cates, starting 4th. Number 47 of Tyler McDonald. Welcome back, 47. And starting on the outside, 82 of the front row, Billy Andrews. And on the inside, number 67, elementary, Drew Mason.
Welcome back to coverage of the NASCAR Local Racing Series, powered by O'Reilly Auto Parts from Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It's time for our second race of the evening for the Q104.1 Stadium Stock Series. We bring to you the starting lineup for this race.
Starting on the pole in the Carolina .67, it's Drew Mason. To the outside, the Coger Plumbing. Number 18, it's the Racing Roofer, Billy Andrews.
Starting in third in the 03 at Walkertown, North Carolina. For Southern Landworks, it's Grayson Lee. And starting in fourth at Lexington, North Carolina, racing the Patriot market number 47, it's Tyler McDonald.
Starting fifth tonight in the car known as Frankenstein, it's the 83, the Track Worker, it's Michael Cates. To the outside, their family's car, the 27, Tysinger Lawn Care Machine for Cody Livingood.
Starting in seventh is the 4 of Andrew Sanders. Starting in eighth is the 14 of Brandon Vaughn.
Starting in the ninth position, it's Bobby Reed. Tim Geeson starts next. Then 11th, Andre Chavez. 12th, Robert Warren Jr. 13th, J.B. Lineberry. That's Light Bright and Robert Mabe in the 28. Rayers out the rear of the field. Now, The modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle pulls into the end zone, and now the Buzz Bombers are getting wound up around the north turn. Green flag is out for the Stadium Stock Nightcap.
Slide a little bit further back in the field as it stands. The racing roofer, Billy Andrews, Tyler McDonald, they both had success at Bowman Gray Stadium before in this division, battling for second behind Mason, who's controlling the inside for the moment. McDonald will win the battle for P2. Andrews will go back to P3. McDonald immediately cuts to the inside to try and get P1, but not before Mason chops the nose, but not enough. Here comes Tyler McDonald to the inside for the race lead.
Welcome back to the Madhouse. Tyler McDonald, he hasn't raced in this division once this year. He raced in the first ever Crown Vic race here, though. But Tyler McDonald at the front. Yellow flag is out. We've got a few cars spun in the turn. The number 55, Robert Mabe.
Robert Warren Jr.
Robert Warren Jr. Robert Mabe is involved. And
JB Lineberry was also over there.
Oh, the 52, the new car for Bobby Reed, has a little bit of sheet metal hanging off the right front of that. Ka-chow!
In duct tape, no less. That is elite.
Love duct tape, baby.
Elite decal work.
I love duct tape numbers. I just do. They're so cool. I know people are like, who wants a duct tape number? That's stupid.
They're like, what?
It's like, what? No, man. I mean, that's simple duct tape. The back isn't. That's cool duct tape in the back. The 52s, going to use a little work on the side of the door, but much respect for the duct tape on the back, though.
Cool looking race car. Honestly, I put it this way. If there were a division I wanted to run at Bowman Gray, this would be the one.
It's so much fun, dude.
Hands down.
It's so much fun.
Hands down.
I want to run. I'd like. Yeah. Anyway, I won't say it. I really want to race again. I was almost going to race next week. Let's put it this way, but I can't. So.
Almost, right?
Almost. Perhaps it's going to happen one day again before I'm too gray.
Eventually, right?
Hey, the fans are still here, by the way. They're still here. We haven't. Not many people have left the Madhouse. It's because the racing action has kept them in their seats. And boy, oh boy, has it been a fun one tonight for the Stadium Stockers and all the other divisions here. Yeah, it's been a wild one,
to say the least.
We were talking about the success in this division by Tyler McDonald, an 8-time winner here in Bowman Gray Stadium, the driver of the Patriot Market number 47 car at the front of this field. 2 laps on the board for the Stadium Stock race. Drew Mason returning back to the field in that second position. That beautiful blue number 67 car. Great to see him return. Some problems on the power plant, the engine of the car behind him, though. This morning, the racing roofer had problems this morning. They worked on that car all day long to get it back in running order. Some problems with the heads of that engine and getting it back together today. Saw him over there working, sweating, but he's used to that. He's a roofer. He's used to working in pretty hot situations. And you see what's on the car right there? Coger Plumbing. Said it right there. They support a lot of people. There is the Cody Livingood machine, the Cates family race car. That car right now sitting in the 4th position, 1 to go. Next time by, yellow flag still out. Grayson Lee, the new daddy, right behind that in the 03 machine. Emerson, their little girl, born just about 2 weeks ago, Emerson Jean Lee. Great to see the new addition for the family here at Bowman Gray Stadium. And then behind him is the number 4. It's like renumbered number 4 tonight, Andrew Sanders. We got to talk about that because that is the 45 Bryant machine. But Andrew Sanders came back to the division last week. We haven't seen him run that much, but the whole family, of course, the Sanders family, has been a mainstay here at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Especially in this division.
Even back to the days where Archie Sanders, AJ's dad ran, 2004 the last time that Andrew ran. Oh, since they've been here. Oh, okay. I was going to say, because I think I ran when he ran. So Andrew Sanders, welcome back to Bowman Gray Stadium Wars. He came back last week. Green flag. Speaking of coming back, we're coming back to racing. Let's go.
Tyler McDonald with a good jump on Drew Mason. Billy Andrews trying to find a way around. As the tires get back up to temp. A little bit less temperature sensitive in the stadium stocks, but as it stands, the battle starting to develop for P2. Tyler McDonald is starting to pull away. Billy Andrews not letting Drew Mason go. And bit of a tank slapper there. As we continue to work our way around Bowman Gray now, here comes Billy Andrews looking for the run underneath. And what a big set. That was a big, big drive as we've got cars to just about split the monster truck people in the middle. And now trouble for Drew Mason, who had been running top three all night. Mason pulls to a stop at the exit of the south turn. It's going to bring out an NC811.org caution.
I thought Andre Chavez was going to go try to crush some cars, buddy. I mean, he got that cheeky machine. He got it amped up for monster truck racing. I thought he was going after those Luminas in the infield.
I think those cars have already seen enough. They look too much like Squidward's hopes and dreams already. I think we're good at this point. Give them a breather.
Little Squidward, man. You know.
There's a SpongeBob quote for every situation in life. I stand by this.
Yeah.
So that's where the ship quote came from earlier. The best kind of ships are friendships. The more you know. Welcome to Bowman Gray Stadium in this stadium stock races here. Tyler McDonald is your leader on lap 5. Billy Andrews second. Pretty solid run for Cody Livengood in the 27 this evening. That car looked actually pretty quick before Drew Mason had the issues as the Central Safe track lube begins to push Mason up. And we're going to get a look at our Hudson Auto Works replay and see what happened here. There were about 3 or 4 things.
Watch Chavez here. Okay, Chavez is in the grass, and I think he turns left and says, you know what? I'm going to crush some cars. And then he goes, oh, wait, my car's not big enough. But look at this split. Oh, that was close.
Good split for the car. Would have been more entertaining if it were a banana split. I enjoy those more.
Geeson might want one after the end of the night. You know,
I think for the evasive driving that he just did, he earned one.
Yeah, I think so.
Go talk to the folks at Mayberry to get him hooked up with one.
Yeah, why not?
So, one to go from the flag stand. Lights off the modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle.
Look at Matt Garrison down there doing the popsicle stick in the air.
Cooking.
Let's go.
Cooking, as they would say. 5 laps up on the board. Tyler McDonald, your leader. Billy Andrews in second. Cody Livengood with an opportunity here in a pretty big spot. And Andrew Sanders already up to 4th after all the madness. And Billy Andrews was trying to go Burley, trying to make a move quickly. Couldn't make it quick enough. Tyler McDonald already with a gap. And now Livengood with an opportunity to maybe get second if he can get the run right off the corner.
Oh, the 47 is checked out. Now Cody goes to the bottom of the racing roofer. The battle is on for second position out of the north turn. They go. New second place man. It's Cody Livengood.
Will Billy Andrews hold off Sanders? Can he get past Livengood once again? Livengood in control of this. Andrews with a shot in the middle of the corner. And that sends Livengood up the racetrack. But Livengood's just got a lot of really good, strong, raw power off the corner, but not enough to keep Andrews at bay a second time. Livengood wins the drag race, but Andrews has got a great car on corner entry and in the center as we hit halfway.
Great move by the racing roofer just when you thought he was done. Now Sanders to the back bumper of Livengood. Good 3-car battle going on for second, third, fourth position as we hit 9 laps down. Yellow flag is out again.
Another NC811.org caution coming your way in the back half of this Q104.1 Stadium Stock feature. Keeping an eye on where it might be, what it might be for. Debris in turn 3. Good run. Something like that here.
Pierre Debris.
I'm a little bit more
Jacques
fond of
Debris.
Jacques Debris.
Jacques Debris guy.
Well,
hey, you know,
I mean, for obvious reasons.
Can I say something very pikesh?
Mm-hmm.
Of note.
Okay.
That's like one of your things. Of note, we didn't mention it tonight. The NASCAR Modifieds were on track for twin 25 lappers, but noticeably absent was 4th place going into the night. Driver Mike Spini. Spini decided to take the Twin 25s off as he tends to his personal businesses, but he will be back for the extra distance races, the Twin 50s, the 100, and of course the season finale.
Modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle already in its place over in the north turn. Tyler McDonald to lead us to green, coming to lap 10 of 15. Billy Andrews trying to get another good jump. Cody Liviga getting a better jump. Look at Liviga trying to go to the outside. Look at Sanders going on the inside. Liviga opened the door, tried to get one spot, might lose two.
Oh boy, that was not a good start for Cody there. Move Andrew Sanders up to the third position. That XL9 number 4 car. Here comes Livigood. Little tip tap. Gets the number 4 sideways, and now they drive down the east straightaway and contest for the spot.
Livigood now with the run underneath Sanders. Tries to park it in front of Andres Chavez and cannot make it stick.
That was a tough crossover because you lose momentum. And momentum seems to be a lot in these race cars. You know, you get them wound up like a rubber band gets wound up, and momentum is in getting these RPMs up and keeping them up is key for speed in the stadium stocks.
McDonald clear by about half a straightaway. 12 laps up on the board, coming to 2 to go when we finish it all off. Andrews in second, Livigood third, and Chavez and Sanders putting together a pretty good battle for fourth and fifth. Tyler McDonald just trying to work his way around cleanly without any trouble. JB Lineberry's about a straightaway ahead, so not long to go for Tyler McDonald, who gets the white flag here at Bowman Craig.
The black and orange machine circulating this racetrack one more time. Clean and green for the driver of the Patriot Market 47. Win number 9 career for McDonald.
Fair to think that was an EIEIO performance for Tyler McDonald, who ties Mitch Gales, Chase Hunt, Tommy Neal, Luke Smith, and Dean Ward for 20th place on the all-time stadium stock wins list here at Bowman Craig.
EIEIO.
Old McDonald had a farm.
Oh, okay, I get it. Dad joke. You sure you're not a dad? Elizabeth's
No kids,
Pizza.
promise.
No. Elizabeth's Pizza on board. I've been to Elizabeth's Pizza. It's a good place here.
Good pizza, yes.
Good
yes,
pizza.
yes.
McDonald's Motors on board as well. Great to see him back here. This car is a potent race car that has really had a good year last year in this car as well, did Tyler McDonald. But great to see him back in victory lane. Of course, he ran that opening race for the Crown Vic division earlier this year.
So McDonald's going to have the opportunity to take a victory lap, celebrate with the fans. One more race of sorts to come on Reliant Federal Credit Union Night of Destruction. It's not necessarily a traditional race per se, because it's
specialty
the
event.
Demolition Derby.
I always call them specialty races, specialty events, because
Fair.
they're part of the program. They're important. But yeah, there's Tyler McDonald, third place in points last year for this driver in this division, and it was kind of shocking not to see him racing this year in the stadium stocks. It looked like he was one of those drivers on the verge to truly contend for a championship here. The speed that 47 possessed each and every week last year. Corey Latham taking the photo as they pull into Carolina Wood Floors victory lane. I think even Hudson is down there with my my nephew Levi and my brother Bob. Let's go down trackside to Randy Pulliam for the victory lane celebration of Tyler McDonald.
Tyler McDonald in that Elizabeth's Pizza MSC Iron, car number 47. Tyler, let's make our way over here to the Carolina Wood Floors winner circle. Tyler, welcome back. Your 9th career win, first win since last season. Looks like you had them covered.
Yes, sir. We didn't plan on racing this year, but these two little girls right here, they asked me last week. They said, "Daddy, when we racing again?" So we worked on the race car for 2 weeks, and we're back racing.
I saw your Facebook post with the little ones. They're good luck charms, right?
That's it. That's what it's all about. Let's thank our sponsors, Elizabeth's Pizza, MSC Iron, McDonald Motors, Arnold Automotive, Triad Paving, Rapid Fire Protection, and we got a new one this week, LSX Salvage and LSX Auto Sales. They bought us a brand new set of stickers this week, so that works out.
Well, congratulations, Tyler. I got to ask you a question. We saw you earlier this season in the Crown Vic. Do you plan on pulling a double duty maybe next week?
I don't know. We'll talk to Tony about it. And that goes for all you guys in the stand. If y'all want to run a race car, hit up Tony Black. He's got rentals. He'll set you up.
Congratulations. Tyler McDonald picks up win number 9 of his
Bowman Gray Stadium career in the second 15-lap event for the Q104.1.
Hey, we're going to go to break, but don't change that channel. Don't click off, because the Demo Derby is next.
Coming up next, we're going to conclude the Night of Destruction, sponsored by True Lion, with a Demolition Derby wrecking contest. I'm going to give you the starting lineup. When Jimmy Brown gives us the okay, you can count down with me. Once again, reminder, race fans, after the completion of the Demolition Derby tonight, if you would like to go to the pits, you'll need to go down the walkway behind the press box here on the west side and enter the pits from that way. You will not be allowed to come onto the track following the Demolition Derby. Here's your starting lineup. 8 cars in the Demolition Derby. And number 10 will be Ray Cowick. Driving the 30 is Grayson Hackett. In the 111 is Jason Lassiter. Mike Johnston is in the 77. Tony Johnston is in the T3. Luke Yance in the 71. In the number 223 is Bubba Johnston. And in the 28 is Tony Johnston Jr. That's your starting lineup for this Demolition Derby wrecking contest.
Get ready. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go, Demolition Derby race.
Oh, it's time for the traditional Demo Derby at Bowman Gray Stadium. The 196th time we've done this here at the Madhouse. Check it out. The last car standing wins. The rules: stay out of the infield, okay? That's rule number 1. Rule number 2, try not to hit somebody in the door. Rule number 3, bash the heck out of everybody. Let's go.
Let's go. The catchphrase of one Matthew Dillner. Who's going to make contact with the rear of their machine first? Big shot there. Grayson Hackett. Grayson Hackett took a shot to the front end of his car. Not ideal way to start this Demolition Derby. You also have to stay on the asphalt insofar as you reasonably can. You can't be running on the grass more often than not here. So a little bit of just bumper tack contact. No really big shots, but maybe, just maybe, Hackett might have taken one that might have taken him out of contention to win this Demo Derby. So we're starting to see the split. 3 cars on the front stretch. Conga line there. Big move from Mike Johnson out of Winston-Salem to try and spin the other 2 cars.
Oh, Johnson, huge hit.
Big hit there. Got into Tony Johnston Jr., so Johnson on Johnson violence.
I think that might have been senior, isn't it? Yeah, that's senior.
Or senior,
that's
perhaps,
Dad Johnson. There's Johnsons everywhere. I went to a damn farm to watch a Demo Derby a few weeks ago, and there was Johnsons there, and Brandon Johnson won. There's little Tony, the white car
Jr., the white car on the other side,
just flew by the screen.
Right.
And there's going to be a big contact here in the, oh man, there was almost huge contact. There's Little Tony. Little Tony. Sounds like somebody that would make a pizza. I like pizza.
Hey, Tony, I like the things you do. Hey, Tony, if you would, I could be you, right?
We got some guys carrying speed around here, but we're not racing, folks. This is a demo derby. Hit each other. Hit each other.
This is one of the more strategic demo derbies that I've seen.
Who has a Mountain Dew? Does that guy have a Mountain Dew? That guy should be disqualified. Give him a sun drop. Let's go.
Fair enough. Oh, there we go. Ooh, I thought that was going to be a hit there over in 3.
Why are the guys aren't supposed to be in the north turn? We're not supposed to wreck race cars in the north turn. That's another rule. We're supposed to be in the U where the fans are.
Matthew Dillner, oh, there we go, contact
now
finally.
We're wrecking each other in the infield. What's going on here? Stop wrecking each other. Are these guys rookies? This is not what we do at Bowman Gray Stadium. Get them under control here. Let's get them to the front side.
Maybe that was just a power play from Jason Lassiter to get the other two stuck.
See, Little Tony's ticked. Little Tony's going to push this guy around to the proper side of the track. Little Tony says, hey, dude, listen to me. We got to get to this side where the race fans are. Little Tony, of course, in the 28 ball.
There is a tire there somewhere in that car.
Now he's pushing into the infield. Oh, boy. Let's go of them. We might have a big wreck. We do.
Big contact there.
Little Tony gets in. Hey, Little Tony's like, hey, I was late to the party, but I want some of this.
Bo Johnson took that initial shot, but that car surprisingly is okay, if anything.
Gotta love that there's a demo derby driver named Bubba.
Ray Cowick was in that 10, and he was the one who Cowick, no L. But
what is Little Tony doing in the grass? Get out of the grass. Hey, they're going after number 11 there.
Jason Lassiter is the target right now.
Lassiter's like the last kid picked at school.
Right.
Nobody likes him right now. They're all just ganging up on him.
Big drift.
Oh, here we go. Here comes another car to the party. Let's all pick on Lassiter.
There's the shot.
That's a bullying.
You know, that is how you do it. If you go in with your trunk and you back into somebody else, that's how you do it.
Here comes Senior. Senior's back. Tony Senior coming to help Tony Jr. Oh, here he comes with the wagon. He's coming into the picture now. And
oh, big shot there, and that threw up a whole bunch of the turf as well.
What are we doing this in the infield, guys? Get your butt back here.
We are down to 4, maybe, perhaps.
Perhaps. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 for all you mathematicians. 4 cars.
So Tony Johnson Jr. is one of them.
Tony Jr.'s decals are falling off of one side.
Bubba
Big
Johnson
Tony's
is
got
another.
the station wagon. He lost his groceries already.
He's just drifting for the fans, and the fans are loving it, I think.
Bubba's involved as well. I think we're down to 3 cars now.
Yep. Boom.
Lassiter
there we go.
In the infield, but he's got to get out of the infield.
Senior gets into Bubba. Junior is there. Lassiter, if he can back it out, is still in this thing. As they start pushing each other through the north turn, going reverse style. About to say, they're turning right on the oval. Somebody spent a little bit of time racing at Tiburon Speedway for too much time.
Tiburon shout out. Oh, Big Tony to the backside. Here we go. This looks like we're tandem drafting at Talladega. What the heck?
No, it's tandem drafting at Tiburon. We're going right. So here we go. Big. Oh, what a spin! Taking out Bubba Johnson. So now it's
Little
Junior.
Tony ever been a police officer? That was a hell of a
Senior
move.
pushing Junior. Senior now with trouble. I thought I saw sparks out of the hood. Here comes Bubba to try and finish off Senior. Lassiter tried and missed and gets pinged up in the wall and now gets sandwiched amongst 2 Johnsons.
Little Tony's got one eyed up right here. Watch this. Oh,
Right.
not that. Here we go.
Oh, they got Lassiter there in the right front. That could be curtains. Another shot there to the nose.
They're all telling him. Jimmy's like telling him, look, dude, you're on the wrong side of the racetrack. Like, all the fans are like, hey, get over here.
At least they're still at the right track. Better than nothing, right?
Yeah. I mean,
So.
Was it Michael Waltrip that went to the wrong track?
Indeed it was. So.
I love it.
All right, Bubba, Junior, Senior. Can Lassiter do it? Is the wheel out there? Lassiter's out of his car, so we're down to our final 3. It's 3 Johnsons.
Oh, we got 3 Johnsons now?
We got 3. We got Bubba, we got Tony Senior, we got Tony Junior.
Can I ask you, can I predict something?
What?
I'm going to say, I'm just going to come out and say, I think a Johnston's going to win.
A Tony or a Bubba?
A Johnston is going to win. I'm going to go Little Tony. You pick one.
Little
Pick
Tony,
one.
okay. Bubba.
You're going Bubba. I'm going Little Tony.
Oh, Bubba, who almost was able to stack him up at a conga line, and now is going to get spun out into the grass.
Family Feud here.
A little bit, yep. Junior there trying to make a move.
Good answer. Good answer.
Right.
Yeah, good answer.
For 100 points, perhaps. Oh, Bubba now with an opportunity to try and go after Senior. Just missed. Great avoidance there.
This is like a ballet over there in the north turn. Did
Right.
you see them spinning around? That was like a pirouette.
Waltz of the Swans and all the above. They're trying to move them back over to the main portion of the horseshoe, to your point, Dillner.
Yeah, man, this is just not right. Big Tony over there, he knows
Big
better.
Tony stuck.
Did these
Bubba
guys
backs
take
it
too
into
many
Junior.
hits? Did these guys take
Big
too
Tony,
many hits?
is there fire, I think, out of the front end, maybe, of Tony's car? I think we might see, yeah, that it looks like we've got wheel coming out on Senior's car, so Bubba and Junior may be the last two trying to figure this one out between the two of them. How do you solve this standoff? As yes, Senior is in. Oh, how about that? They just about monster truck there. Bubba on top of Tony, and Bubba trying to go in to finish this off. Backs it right into Tony's car. And there's a radiator, something going on. And problems, I think, for Tony Johnston Jr., who's able to back it up enough. He's got at least some space, but how much coolant does he have left? I see smoke pouring out on the front end of both machines.
They both look like Pintos right now.
Right. Another shot there as Bubba Johnston backs it into Tony Johnston Jr. They're sending them back both on the racetrack. Can Tony Johnston Jr. get back out onto the racing surface? Or is Bubba Johnson going to be able to get the finishing shot? Will he be able to finish him Mortal Kombat style? Not yet. Not yet. Not
Finish
yet.
him.
But we are closing in on that moment. Bubba's basically getting free shots here. They're telling him to move away. And Tony Johnston Jr. now backing out onto the racing surface. And Bubba now going to back it up to try and finish this. He'll miss ever so slightly. Great work there by Tony Johnston Jr. to avoid Bubba. They'll go back onto the grass once again. They're telling both drivers to get back onto the racing surface. And Bubba Johnston, again, going to try and back this up with a big amount of running room, though.
Here we go. This could be it. This could be it right here. Little cat and mouse game. He's trying to make sure when he gets hit square and in the right spot, trying to avoid him. Cat and mouse game.
Oh, that was fabulous. Great work from Tony Johnston Jr. and everybody over in the Turn 1 grandstands came to their feet off of the elusive moves that Tony Johnston Jr. just put on Bubba, who continues to sort of swerve that car out of the way. He's waiting for the opportunity to throw it in reverse and maybe get something going. Johnston Jr. is just reversing down the front straightaway, now trying to give it back to Bubba. He hooks Bubba around.
Bubba's car goes better right now.
Right.
But it's not always the rabbit that wins. Sometimes
tortoise in the hare.
It's the tortoise.
Exactly. So how does Tony Johnston Jr. solve this? How does Bubba try and attack this? Tony now sitting, waiting. Tony's done a great job of finding ways to get around, and now Bubba just goes full-on drift, shreds whatever was left of that left rear tire. Now is going to try and go nose in first with the shot. Big hit there. Do they do more damage to Bubba's car, to Tony's car? That's the problem. That's the question. It definitely got Tony's car a good bit. Can Tony move?
Little Tony right now looks like he could be dead in the water. Will this be the kill shot? Oh,
big
boy,
shot
that
there.
might have been. Little Tony's in trouble. The crowd senses it.
Trying to back it up. Trying to save his stake in this demolition derby. He gets spun around again.
Pure athleticism by Eric Messer. Get out of the way of that one. My gosh.
Bubba trying to make another move on Tony.
The Walter Payton of photographers.
Exactly. It's not over yet, but it's close. Bubba now going to try and go to the front side. And I think back it into Tony's maybe finish this.
You know, they're being too nice here.
Everybody all celebrating. You've got all fans on their feet. Bubba trying to go. No, he'll steer away. Checkered flag is out. Checkered flag is up. Bubba Johnson wins the 196th Demolition Derby here at Bowman Gray Stadium. And yours truly went 3 for 3 between the Madhouse Scrambles and the Demolition Derby winner over the course of the evening. So convenient maybe that the winning car is painted purple like the crystal ball, because mine tonight was purple.
There's a lot of Johnsons.
Right, right.
You got Little Tony, you got Bubba, you got Big Tony, Brandon Johnston, Mike Johnston, Lou Johnston, Cindy Johnston, Paul Johnston. Just name names. There's going to be a Johnston here in a demo derby.
Right.
I mean, that family is demolition derby racing here in the Carolinas. Check him out, man. He's like, rad, man. Check it out. I'm the winner. Look at this. That's a good victory lane pose right there.
Eric Mess is going to have that on social. That'll be a fantastic photo, I think, when we see that pop up in a few days. I suspect. That's just my hunch. I have a strong suspicion. So as we see Bubba getting a little bit of love from the Citrus Safe Services track crew here, gets Bullet in front of his winning car.
Well, Pike, that's it for edition 1139. But I want to ask you one question. I love doing this. Closing thought, your big takeaway from the night.
2, I think. The history that Zach Orr made, 7 wins in a row and becoming the not
you
in a row,
pick
but
2. Pick 1, dang it.
No, let me cook.
I don't even get one, and you pick 2.
So Zach Orr becoming the 7th driver to win 7 races across all divisions in a single season of Bowman Gray, and then the history that Beeson and Koger made. Those are my 2 big thoughts. Hey, you can build off one of those.
You could have just taken one.
I could have just taken one. Right. I also want to make sure we give a shout out to our entire production team, our producer Lucas Kaler, our director Sarah Akins, our replay operator Sammy LeCount, our V1 Jeff Reynolds, our engineers Will Adams, Nick Stenstrom, our field lead Ryan Gavel, our camera operators Eric Keplinger, Quentin Marquis, Elgin Trailers, Stephen DiLorenzo, Matt Strickard at NASCAR Productions, and as always, our statistician and historian, Justin Mincy. All these people help make these shows so great and so fun each and every week. We cannot do it without them. We are lucky to be the folks that represent a wonderful team at NASCAR Productions that helps put these shows up for you to enjoy on FloRacing.
Well, big winners tonight, of course, Burt Myers winning the first Twin 25, Daniel Beeson with his first ever win. Justin Taylor and Zach Orr split the Sportsman. Zach Koger, his first career win in the street stocks, and of course, a split in the stadium stocks. Brandon Lee Brendel, Tyler McDonald, Bubba Johnston in the Demolition Derby. Folks, True Liant Federal Credit Union Night of Destruction was just that. We saw quite a bit of it here at Bowman Gray Stadium, and boy, oh boy, did it thrill the fans, young and old. Monster trucks were a big part of tonight's festivities. Signing foreheads. Oh, it's Chris Carter. Oh, that was the moment of the night, I think. That's going to be that's my closing thought of the night. I want to see that signature right now. Folks, it's always a lot of fun here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Make sure you come down each and every Saturday night here to the Madhouse and join the 15,000 to 17,000 faithful. I'm your host, Matthew Dillner, and until next time, we'll see you at the races.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.